right, here we go. What's up, everybody? Wes Moore, Joe Franklin, and we're starting it, a new segment. It's a new tradition on Wednesdays. We talked about it last Wednesday, and we made it happen. Coach Kelly's going to hang around with us for another 30 minutes after he finishes up with the zone. You know, that last hour, you're just BSing, you know, doing whatever he does, you know, birthdays, and he's not listening. He's in his office. Yeah, you do birthdays, entertainment, what the hell. You know, I was part of the show for 4 or 5 years, so I know what the last hour's like. There's hardly any sports talk. So we can get you to hang out for another 30 minutes and actually talk sports with you. So it's a totally different Kevin Kelly they get to hear, even though it's holding you over for a little bit.
Well, that's a common bond between us. I love sport. I mean, I love all sports. You know that. And you do, too. You like them all.
I could sit and talk sports for 3 hours.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have to do any birthdays or entertainment or anything like that. Nothing against that. I mean,
I will say the What the Hell segment is my favorite spot of the week.
See, and I always hated it.
Oh, you hate it? Yeah, you did.
Know,
You kind of look
like,
down.
What am I supposed to say here?
Right.
You know, I could get in trouble. Probably shouldn't comment on this. I'll just let Acre go. All right. I wanted to talk NFL with you.
I love the NFL.
I do, too. And we got 4 good games. I listened to your picks last week, and I didn't get to hear them this week because when I got out of the car, I had to come in here and do some work, and I never got to hear your picks. Apparently, you didn't get to make your picks?
Didn't get to make them.
Well, let's start there.
Yeah, what would you have picked, Coach?
I think, you know, my favorite pick, and I'm biased against the Bears, is the Rams.
Why are you biased against the Bears?
I'm biased because I'm big on the quarterback play, and while in the fourth quarter, Caleb Williams has been awesome, right? He is the second least accurate quarterback that's thrown 100 passes or more this year in the league. The second least accurate. And we've seen that. Everybody's like, he's so good in the fourth quarter, but look at the throws he misses in, like that are wide open. He missed a touchdown he missed a touchdown last week to Loveland in the end zone that they wouldn't have been in the situation they were in the first half, down 21-3. If he makes the throw, just miss the wide open guy. But then he makes the great throws, and he's been doing that, but that's not sustainable. And plus, the Rams are better at getting pressure.
2 questions. Who's the least accurate quarterback?
J.J. McCarthy.
Okay, should have guessed that. And
Still playing, though. Least accurate.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah. So why is he inaccurate the first 3 quarters, and then the last quarter he all of a sudden finds it?
I think, you know, we saw, you know, the throw he made going left across his body, and people look at that and they're like, God, he's just so good, and he could make all the throws, and he's, you know, does that. But the same one, he threw off his back foot and threw an interception on 4th down before that, and then, you know, he had the one when he beat somebody doing that. He was rolling left, threw it across his body for a touchdown, and then the next week he missed the same throw.
Yep, that was the Rams next week.
They don't make him, you know, for too long in college, he was let get away with his footwork. I mean, he'll throw off his back foot when he doesn't need to, just in the pocket. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. But it's hard to be crazy consistent when you do that. And that's what it is. It's overall he's missing guys. And people don't look and go, oh, he missed a wide open guy on 3rd down at the second quarter of the game. They forget about that. But that could have been a drive that scored, and instead it was a punt, and it changed the whole complexity of the game.
It's funny. I told
he's
Joe.
Been doing that, though, for, like you said, going back to college. He probably was allowed to do it in high school and going way back. But with a guy like Ben Johnson, you kind of get those moments out of him where he's cut down on how much he's improvising. But Ben Johnson, it's kind of a good combo, or maybe not so good at times, where Ben Johnson has him playing on time, but he still is able to do some of those plays that he's used to, where he scrambles around and when he doesn't have to, runs backwards and makes a dynamic throw.
I'll bet you Ben Johnson's rule is improvise when you have to, not when you want to. Because he's been improvising whenever he wanted to, which is the problem with Justin Fields over the years and the previous, you know, that's why Caleb Williams was like he was the year before, and all of a sudden Ben Johnson comes in and he's better because he's improvising less and less when he doesn't need to.
I told Joe about 2 weeks ago, I was like, I'm switching on Caleb Williams. I didn't think he was going to be an accurate enough quarterback in the NFL. And I said, I've switched. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. And it was after the Rams game where I watched mainly the fourth quarter, where he was doing, you know, it was back and forth, and just some great throws. But it's to your point, in the fourth quarter, that's when he was his best. That's when I watched him, not during the first 3 quarters where he shouldn't have been in that spot anyway.
He's a phenomenal talent. I mean, do you all agree, and maybe you don't, Aaron Rodgers probably the most talented quarterback that's ever played, in my opinion, with the accuracy of his throws and be able to throw with his footwork, and he was semi-mobile and could throw on the run and all those things. Caleb Williams has a potential to be that, I think. But Aaron Rodgers didn't do those things when he didn't need to. He didn't throw the sidearm when he didn't need to. He didn't run right and throw back across his body. If there was a guy on the right he could throw to that was with the side he was going to. And Caleb Williams is doing, I think he's looking to make the crazy play sometime instead of looking and making it when he has to only. And that's where Ben Johnson's done a better job with him.
And Patrick Mahomes, I would put him in that same realm, like you talked about with Aaron Rodgers, put them kind of neck and neck. He's one of those guys that he can make everybody around him better. He can make all the throws, has a big arm, and he's a lot more mobile than they give him credit for.
He's amazingly – his offensive line this year was terrible. And he bought time and keeps his eyes up. I mean, I'm a huge Patrick Mahomes fan. I haven't always been because he was a little on the Caleb Williams side. But as he's gotten older, and he's not old by any means, but as he's gotten more mature in his quarterback maturation process, he now realizes, I don't want to take these extra hits. I don't want to put my team in a bad situation, but I'm going to move around. But he's so good at keeping his eyes downfield the entire time instead of running to a spot and then looking down the field, that I think that's what puts him above everybody else that scrambles on the run. Is his eyes are constantly downfield, Patrick Mahomes are. And everybody else looks down for a minute. Where am I? Back up, down, back up. And that's the difference. He gets rid of the ball when the guy's open immediately instead of having to wait 2 seconds.
Weather's supposed to be very, very cold in Chicago. Like, we're talking about wind chills and the zeros, negatives. Does that impact this game at all?
Yeah, I think so because, both teams can run the ball. Both offensive lines are good. They both have a real good running game. Both of them have two good running backs. Mm-hmm. And I think both of them will be like, we're going to start the game off trying to establish a run, not because we want to get play action going. We don't want to put our quarterbacks in weird situations that maybe we turn it over early, get behind, and only can throw. And I don't think they want to do that. That's my guess on it. But I think you're going to see a battle of two good teams. But what the difference is going to be, if the Rams get to a lead, their defensive line can put pressure on the quarterback almost as top 5 in the league, and the Bears can't do that. Now, Caleb Williams kind of offsets that a little bit with his more mobility than Stafford, but Stafford's mobile enough to get it done. And I just think from top to bottom, the Rams are just a better overall team.
Matchup you're looking forward to most. You got Bills, Broncos, 49ers, Seahawks, Texans, Patriots. We just talked about Rams, Bears.
I'm so glad the Patriots are good again. Now I can wear all my stuff, and I had to bury it for a year or two. But I think the Texans are so good defensively. But man, there's just when y'all watch, don't you just see there's a little bit of a problem on offense at times? And I don't think the Patriots have that. I mean, I think last week looked real dirty against the Chargers, but they'll clean that up. And the Chargers defense is pretty good. But I'm looking forward to the Patriots just because I want to see them succeed again. And I love watching Drake May. I don't know how you couldn't want. He doesn't have a number one receiver, but he makes it happen. And Hunter Henry, I'm biased towards watching Hunter. So for me, I'm biased, and that's why I want to watch the Patriots. But I'm looking forward to all these games. I think they're all 4 really good games, except maybe Seahawks 49ers. The Seahawks may blow them out.
How good did it feel for you to see Hunter catch a playoff touchdown?
It was awesome because it was the put-it-away touchdown.
Yeah.
It was off a play-action pass, which has been what he's been really good at since he's been in the league. It came off the heels of one of the Chargers during the week. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
One of the Chargers during the week saying, yeah, we got rid of him because Herbert made him, and he just wasn't that guy.
Oh.
So he's been made. So I think, Hunter had to be a little satisfied, with getting that, and you're playing against. Now, granted, you look and saw him hugging some of his former teammates that he had played with. But that comment, I think, probably made it a little bit more important. And it did for me. It made it cool for me to watch him catch that, put it away touchdown on the guy, on a guy that was, kind of dissing him a little bit.
They must have gotten wind of that on NBC also because they definitely asked him about it. And he said it just felt good to get a win and be in this position where you're moving forward. But also it is a little extra special against a former team.
Yeah, and I don't think he necessarily would have said it like that if the guy hadn't made the comment. I don't know how you make that comment, though, because he had more yards this year than he's ever had. So to say Justin Herbert made him, and this is the most yards he's ever gotten a season, and the guy made a comment, he was injured all the time. Well, he tore his ACL for a year. And I mean, talk about Keenan Allen. That's on your team. Keenan Allen's been hurt more than any receiver in the NFL over the past 5 years. So I don't know how you're cracking on Hunter Henry.
I like the Patriots defense too. Offensively, I think they're a total team, and that's why I like them just a little bit over the Texans. The Texans defense is awesome, but I think the New England offensive line will protect May, and he can move around just enough, a lot more than we saw Aaron Rodgers. And so I think the Patriots will be okay at home.
Did y'all see Dan Orlovsky talk about the Patriots defense?
No.
On NFL, I love Dan Orlovsky on NFL Live. He's in the NFL for 12 years. He said, I watched the Patriots defense, and this is not an insult. On 80% of their plays, I couldn't tell what coverage they were in.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he did.
I'm like, that's a phenomenal statement for an NFL quarterback to make about defense. They're so good at disguising their coverage that it's difficult for quarterbacks to decipher. And so that means what that means, it's tough to pick out who's my first real progression on this throw. On this play, who is it? Because if you can't tell what they're in based on if they're one high or two high, it might be your inside receiver on the right. It might be your outside receiver on the left. And if you don't know going in, you're having to wait an extra half second, which enables the pass rush to have a whole half second. And if you're like, what's a half a second? Well, the difference between 2.5 seconds getting rid of the ball or below 2.5 and over 2.5 is a phenomenal thing in the NFL. So that half second is humongous on trying to decide what the coverage is before you ever begin to think of when can I throw this ball.
What do you think of Bills Broncos?
I think that's going to be the game. I think that's going to be a good game. Bills defense, their run defense is not good. And they're, I think, 27th in the league, maybe between the tackles or something like that, which is, you don't think of the Bills being that, but their back end pass is one of the top three. And the Broncos can run the ball, but they like to throw it with Bo Nix and run around. Broncos defense, phenomenal. But I bet against Josh Allen. I did too. I thought
so dumb.
So dumb. Now that you look back at it, you're like, Trevor Lawrence in the moment. I do think the team. I think Jacksonville's team was overall better, except the quarterback. And Josh Allen I may put him on the don't bet against list.
The dude hurt his knee, hurt his hand, already had a prior injury, went in for a concussion, or they checked him. I mean, the dude had like 3 injuries in the game and finishes it off with the push-tush.
And you don't think, looking back at that film this week, the team is going to be, that's our guy, and ride behind him even more? They are, because they're like, in this day and age when people are coming out, or they're making him come out, he talked his way back into the game. I thought his knee was broken on
I did
that
too.
one. I'm like, oh, my gosh, he's done.
Yeah.
And he's back out there the next series,
Do you think that's a similar situation this week, though, with Broncos, better team, but you got Josh Allen, who's a better quarterback on the other side?
I think that's the only reason the Lions won and not more, because Denver at home off a bye. The stats on being the home team with a week off in the playoffs is phenomenal for the home team that's been off a week. But the Lions won, and I think it's because of Josh Allen. I mean, 100%.
And it's flipped.
Yeah, it's gone before. So I don't know what it is right now. It was 1 Denver, 1 Jacksonville, 1 Denver.
Did you have you seen the John Elway documentary on Netflix?
I haven't. I'm dying to watch it.
It's really good.
Yeah, I bet it is.
They talk about how that team, that Super Bowl run, those 2 years back to back, to a man, they were all talking, we did this for John.
That's
and
awesome.
It reminded me of what you were saying about Josh Allen. They go back and watch this. They know. I mean, you look at what's left in the AFC for, there's no Patrick Mahomes. There's no Lamar. This is no Burrow. This is his chance. This is Buffalo's chance. And I wonder if there's that feeling in the locker room, like they did for Elway, they're going to do this for Josh.
I think there's only 2 teams that have ever gone on the road and had to play 3 playoff games to make it to the Super Bowl and made it. And one of those was the old Kurt Warner Cardinals against the Steelers. And, they might have been 7-9 that year, or 9-7. I think they might have been below 500 to get in the playoffs. But anyway, they ran on all the way to the playoffs and almost won that game. If he didn't throw the 100-yard pick six before halftime, maybe they do. That's what Buffalo would have to do. They would have to defy history, because they were on the road at Jacksonville. They'll be on the road this week. If they win, they'll be on the road next week, no matter who they play. Out of the Patriots or Texans, they'd be on the road. To do that 3 weeks in a row in the playoffs is very, very difficult to do. And now you're going up to Mile High, which I don't know if you've ever talked to a player and said, is it really Mile High, hard to breathe in? Absolutely. It's incredibly difficult to do. And so I just think that's a lot, and it's a coin flip of a game, but it's going to be an awesome game to watch.
Last game we haven't talked about, but you said in passing you thought it'd be a blowout. I'm afraid that Seattle and San Fran could be a blowout. I love watching the San Francisco offense, except for the last time they played Seattle. That offense just been clicking, and what Purdy's been able to do, and Christian McCaffrey, all the injuries that they're dealing with. It's a heck of a story. I'm just afraid, Seattle coming off of the bye, a rest week, at home. I'm afraid this could get ugly.
What do y'all think about Sam Darnold?
We did our
him.
quarterback rankings last week, and he was close to the bottom.
Anywhere from 11 to 14, right?
Yeah, because of just some of the mistakes that he makes in key moments.
He's playing, and I'm a deep diver, and I've done some work for Warren Sharp, who's the football analysis guy, out there that does a lot of work for teams, and I've got access to him, and so I'd like to look into it. Sam Darnold, when he's got time, okay, when he's got 3 seconds to throw, which is a phenomenal amount of time in the NFL, he's one of the best quarterbacks. But their plays are good. They've got JSN, who's a monster out on the field. He's really good. When he doesn't have time, he's one of the worst decision makers. Not just throwers, decision makers there is. The problem is San Francisco, going into this game, is 31 out of 32 teams in pressuring the opposing quarterback. 31. So that's right up his alley, which means the Seahawks or the 49ers are going to have to score probably 27 points to win. I have no idea against that defense how they're going to, and maybe more than that. I have no idea how they can beat them.
And it was pointed out that they play a lot of conservative defense where they just play quarters, a large majority of the game.
They did that when Fred Warner went out and Bosa went out. When they lost both of them, they just said, this is the best bend but don't break. They've gotten better at it over the year. From like week 11 on, they've been a little bit better at it. But they've gotten steadily worse. 5 weeks ago, they were 27th in putting pressure on the quarterback. Now they're 31st. So they've gotten worse and worse and worse there. In the NFL, you can't let a quarterback that's made it in the NFL have all that time. Everybody's good unless you put pressure on them in the NFL. Everybody is. And they cannot get pressure on the quarterback. They just can't do it.
So you're thinking Seattle, L.A.,
and
New England.
I think it's probably Broncos because their front four on defense is so good, but I want it to be the Bills bad.
But you just said you may put Josh Allen on that do not bet against list.
No, I'm not betting against him. I'm not betting that game. Yeah. There's no way I'm betting. I might bet the under because I just think that the Broncos defense is going to be so good, and the Bills don't have a number one receiver. So they have to run the football. And James Cook led the NFL in rushing. Yeah, and the key to Denver is, if you look at the teams that beat them, especially the ones, even the Giants, when the Giants almost beat them there, and you look at what Jacksonville did to them, the key to beating Denver, and it sounds stupid because it's anti-analytics, is throw it to the running back out of the backfield, and Buffalo doesn't do that enough. And what's weird is, without a number one receiver, usually they throw it to the running back, and I think James Cook had no catches last week. And that's what you have to do against Denver. They are the weakest against a running back, catching the ball out of the backfield.
What do you think about the whole coaching search? Some of the teams that are involved, some of the best fits, some of the possible candidates that can fill these jobs.
So if you are a team, I'd love to have you do this. If you are one of the 9 teams, and you've got are Harbaugh and Tomlin the two best that everybody's going to want the most overall?
Yes.
Yeah.
So which one would you pick? If you're one of the NFL teams and you've got your pick of those two, which one you taking?
To be honest, I don't think Tomlin is going to coach, but between the two, Tomlin.
It's tough. I think it depends on who I am. Like if I'm a team that thinks I've got a shot to make a run, I want Harbaugh. If I want to make sure I win enough games to put people in the stands, then I pick Tomlin. Because he's so consistent. His teams are so consistent.
I read a great story. It was a conversation. If the Raiders wanted to stabilize their franchise finally and would commit to it, Tomlin would be their guy.
I think the mindset and kind of where he is, they would have to offer a ton of money, like close to $25 million or so, for him to even get in that frame of mind of wanting to jump right back into coaching. And then on the other part is you're going to have to give up something to get him. He resigned. He's still under contract with Steelers. So now you have to give up something if he is going to coach this year.
That's the hard part. I think you're right. I'm not sure coming out of this that he wants to coach, maybe take a year off if he ever wants to get back. But I think you're right. If I'm going to pick a guy and he wanted to coach, he's the guy for the Raiders. Like maybe the only guy on the planet right now that can sort of fix them. You know what I'm saying?
Stability.
It's going to be stability. It's going to be a standard, and he makes. Sadly, I think this is the case. He makes bad players good, and he makes great players good. But they're all good.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where he is. But where's the best place you would go?
We had this debate too.
I said Giants. Giants have a good young core. They got stability on that defensive line, and they got some young pieces on that offensive line. I like what they're doing up front.
I went Atlanta.
Mine is Atlanta because of who they have.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but the Giants because the division sucks.
Wes, you went Ravens #1.
No, that Ravens. Ravens.
Oh,
and,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Ravens #1.
I mean,
Atlanta was
you got
2.
Lamar. You got.
But I had the Raiders way up there too, because
did?
of all the salary
Yeah,
cap room
exactly.
they
That's
have.
what I said, Coach. I had them dead last.
They're like-
I'm dead last for me.
They have
too.
$120 million to spend. They have the #1 pick. They have great offensive pieces. They need an offensive line.
They have great their offensive
Running
line
back, tight end.
But the most important part, their offensive line's a train wreck.
Okay, you got $123 million.
You better go get some of those guys.
Go get 2 or 3 starters. Draft a couple of guys. There you go.
What are you going to do with Max Crosby?
Trade him to Dallas?
You've got to trade him. They have got to go get Max Crosby.
Yes.
He doesn't want to be there.
You got 2 first-round picks.
Oh, my God. Surely by making him sit out the last 2 games when he did not want to,
Mm-hmm.
surely they're trading him. They wanted to make sure nothing happened to that guy. But they have to. You know, everybody saw the basketball pick, the videos, stuff like that. But the Cowboys are crazy because that's the one guy out there that wants to be somewhere else. Go get the guy, pay the guy, you got your pass rush guy.
Another
we may
place
go
to
get
look
TJ
out
Watt,
for.
though.
What's that?
We may go get TJ Watt.
Maybe. But, I mean, yeah, if you're willing to pay the money and give up the picks, there you go. But another place to look out for, Max Crosby, Lions. Lions put somebody on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
That'd be a great combo.
Yeah. Their cap, they can't have a ton of cap space, though, can they? I mean,
Dallas?
Detroit.
Oh, I'm not
They've
sure
been
about
paying
Detroit.
people.
Mm-hmm. Dallas is in a little bit of cap hell, but,
Well,
go restructure Dak, restructure CD. You got that money.
they're going to have to restructure everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think you got to, if you're the Raiders, if you trade Crosby, what are you telling your fan base?
Well, if you get 2 first-round picks,
Well,
or first,
I don't even know. Yeah.
That it's a full rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it
That's what
needs to come to.
Is Geno Smith the guy?
No.
He was decent with Seattle when they could protect him.
Right. You're going to your point about offensive line. If he doesn't have an offensive line, then he's not going to look good.
I'm not sure there's a quarterback in the league that could have been good this year in the Raiders.
It was awful.
But go back to when he was with Seattle, his last 2 years at Seattle, over a 2-year period, he was the most accurate quarterback in the league.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
But this year he looks like he couldn't throw it in the ocean if you stand on the beach.
Steelers' first 2 interview requests come from Ram staff. Their passing game coordinator, Nate Schilhaas, and their defensive coordinator, Chris Shula.
Shula's going to be a big name.
Shula's going to get a job.
He's done a really good job with the defense.
Mantor's going to get a job.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, Indiana and Miami Monday night.
I mean, you can't not pick Indiana. They're rock solid everywhere. To me, and I love Fernando Mendoza, and I think he's better than everybody thinks he is, even though he won the Heisman. But he's not superstar status like a guy like when Jalen Hurts was the Heisman winner going into a bowl game, or when Caleb Williams, even while he was just playing. He's not that because he's not flashy and all that. Mm-hmm. They are so good. They're so good everywhere, but not spectacular anywhere, right? Mm-hmm. But they tackle, they're physical, and all their guys. We talked about them being the oldest team. They're just their physical age.
23.3?
23.3 or something like that years old. They're a year and a half younger than the Packers' average age. But those are grown men. Now, Miami's D-line's good, but so is Indiana's. I broke down and looked at that. Their D-line's really good. But they can beat you by scoring 2. Miami cannot beat them by scoring. I see ways that Indiana can drive the ball down and score. I don't see ways that Miami can do that consistently because they throw the ball. Did you know this? Miami, out of all the FBS teams, throws the ball 5 yards or less in the air than anybody else in football. That's amazing to me. But if you looked at it last week, there were 3 3rd and 9s or more where 6 times they threw it 0 yards. They were willing to give up and punt, but they broke a tackle or whatever. But Ole Miss was a bad tackling team. In the depths of FBS, they were the bottom third of tackling, of missed tackles. They missed more tackles. They ain't going to get that against Indiana. Those guys can tackle. So I could see this starting off slow and clean, but it being 21 points by the end of the game.
Wow. Coach, this was fun. Thank you for hanging out.
Thank
for
you. I
another
love
Thursday.
talking football.
Coach.
No,
Love it.
This was awesome. Well, I look forward to our Wednesdays with you to kick off the show. We got to take a break. When we come back, Chris Curry, head coach of the Little Rock Trojans, taped an interview with him a little earlier today because they're practicing right now. Unfortunately, they practice 1 to 5, so we can't get him live, but wanted to talk a little baseball with him. That interview is coming up next.
Little Rock Trojans fans can save 20% off middle leather seats from now until January 17th when they use the code BUZZ, that's BUZZ, all caps, at littlerocktrojans.com.
This is SportsCenter.
Last night in college basketball, number 2 Iowa State suffered their first loss of the season, falling to Kansas 84-63. The Cyclones shot just 36% from the floor in the game. In the SEC, Tennessee beat Texas A&M 87-82, while Florida beat Oklahoma 96-79. Tonight there are no ranked matchups, but there are a few intriguing games. We'll start with 5th-ranked Purdue hosting Iowa at 5:30 on the Big Ten Network. 16-0 10th-ranked Vanderbilt will travel to Texas at 8 on ESPN2. The Longhorns are coming off a big win against the Crimson Tide this past Saturday. Number 14 North Carolina will go on the road to Stanford at 8 on the ACC Network. And 17th ranked Arkansas will take on South Carolina at home at 8 o'clock on the SEC Network. Radio coverage can be heard on The Buzz. Stay tuned afterwards for the Bet Saracen Razorback postgame show with Wes Moore and Josh Neighbors. I'm Christian Weaver with The Buzz Radio Network.
Experience the unmistakable difference today at D3 Auto Sales in Des Arc or West Memphis. D3 Auto Sales is your home for quality used trucks, SUVs, and cars from all top brands, specializing in unique customized lifted and leveled used trucks, including 4-wheel drives. And this commitment to excellence extends to their full-service 10-bay service department as well. Also, looking to trade in or sell your vehicle? D3 Auto Sales pays top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. D3AutoSales.com.
Hi, this is Joe Klein with Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Whether you're dining in for daily specials like Cheese Dip Happy Hour, driving through for a barbecue bowl pickup order, or prefer our full-service catering, our professional staff at Corky's has you covered. Corky's in Little Rock and North Little Rock. We'll see you soon. And be sure to listen each week when I stop by 103.7 The Buzz.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus, lots of fun choices. Like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Brand new players get a 100% profit boost just for downloading the Bet Saracen app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
It's duck season, and Fort Thompson's has you covered. Great selection of hunting and outdoor apparel. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, boots, waders, and gun safes. Is your duck call ready? Fort Thompson's in Sherwood or FortThompson.com.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter Agent Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff, Justin Stewart in Malvern, or Drew Self in Hot Springs today.
Spring is sprung and fall is fell. Winter's here, and you may not realize it, but this is the perfect time to spruce the house up. The best way to do that is to call CertaPro Painters. They'll explain everything with no pressure, no upsell, just straightforward professional advice. That's why I've used CertaPro Painters for years on a number of different projects, and I'll do it again and again. Each CertaPro Painters is independently owned and operated. You can schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
This is Trey Johnson with HJ Trailer Sales. It's a new year, and we're kicking it off with an inventory blowout sale. We're taking up to $4,000 off 2025 inventory. Whether you've had your eye on it, been dreaming about it, or waiting for the perfect time, this is your moment. At HJ Trailer Sales, we pride ourselves on exceptional customer service and reliability. Kick off the year right, save big, and start fresh with up to $4,000 off 2025 inventory. Visit HJ Trailer Sales today, off Albert Pike in Hot Springs, or online at hjtrailersales.com.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong.
Just dial 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union. Membership has its rewards with low-rate auto loans, competitive mortgages, and one of the lowest interest rate credit cards in the nation. TruService Credit Union. Online at TruService.net.
We all my.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. The college baseball season is getting underway. Practice has started. We're going to talk Little Rock Trojans baseball. Head coach Chris Curry joins us now. They're trying to build off the momentum of last year's great year. Coach, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great. Off to a great start in 2026. And we're, I guess, 29, 28 days inside of a month away from college baseball. I feel like we just stepped off the field at Baton Rouge, and our feet haven't hit the ground, like you said. It's amazing the momentum and the energy from the Little Rock Trojan fans, the community, and a lot of folks around the nation have kind of jumped on board. But it's great to be practicing. We scrimmaged yesterday, which a new rule this year for Division I. They gave us, I think, 10 or 12 extra days on the front end to ramp up the pitcher's arms, and so 65 degrees in Little Rock. We were out there scrimmaging yesterday, Wes.
That is awesome. Were you able, I know we talked last year at the end of the season about maintaining that momentum and using that momentum through the offseason. Were you able to do that?
We were, and it starts with players. You know, we retained everybody. The only loss was Jackson Wells to the Astros. You know, he signed with another school out of the portal, but then he had always wanted to sign pro, and to be honest with you, signing with that other school was a little bit of a leverage move on his part, and it worked because the Astros did not want him to pitch another year in college, and so Wells was the only loss. We retained Angel Cano, Cade Martin, Brian Geck, Cooper Chaplin, Jack Klein, Malcolm Brown, those key pieces from the championship team, and then we were able to add 23 new guys, combination of a few high school guys, Russ Martin from Russellville High School, Tag Andrews from Maumelle. Then you have some portal guys like Nick Bronzini, who was at LSU and Washington, Brigden Parker from Kansas, center fielder from Mississippi State, Michael O'Brien, and then some really good junior college folks that have a lot of at-bats and experience under their belt. I kind of like what Coach Signetti is talking about right now. It's production over potential, and so we went out and looked for guys that have actually been playing.
Do you think, or do you know that run helped you get some of these guys this year?
I knew for a fact, Wes. I knew when my phone was constantly buzzing on the podium right after the game, and I had about 300-400 text messages, and then when we started calling recruits and, hey, Coach, we saw you play, and that's kind of the first thing we bring up. Hey, did you watch the game? And literally no one has said, no, we didn't watch it. I guess ESPN told us 1.1 million people watched it, but a lot of those were 16, 17, 18, 21-year-old baseball players who now think Little Rock is an option. And so we rarely in life, Wes, not to get too deep on you, rarely in life, I think, do you know when you're in a big moment as it's happening. Usually you have to look back. We knew in that moment how life-changing and program-changing it was, and that's still playing out today.
How do you get the team to forget about last year and focus on this year?
Excellent question. That is at the front of my mind. You nailed it. Hey, that was last year. A lot of those guys are gone. You think of Zach Henry in center field, made those Spider-Man catches off the wall, and There's some key players, but yeah, we can't let last year's wins beat us this year. And we're going to have a target on our back. We're not going to sneak up on anybody. And then I think what's most new about Little Rock baseball is their expectations. We've kind of created a monster. That's what you want. You want to be expected to run from up front, and how do you manage those expectations? But yeah, no, you nailed it. And that's what the conversation has been inside our building is we're looking forward. Now, we really dialed it back, Wes, to not even a countdown to opening day, February 13th, 3 o'clock versus Eastern Michigan at Gary Hogan Field. We're talking about stacking days. We're talking about, yesterday. Let's have a really, really solid scrimmage here, fellas. Let's have a really good batting practice. Let's have a really good infield, outfield. And then let's turn the video on today from key plays from yesterday, and let's work on that. And let's just stack days, and then we'll get the game week, and we'll figure that out. And I think it can get so big on you, Wes, and you maybe play a little tighter. You worry about the wrong things instead of doing the things that we did to win a championship.
Did your success make it easier to schedule games, or did it make it harder?
That kind of is a case-by-case thing. We had some higher RPI teams reach out, got asked to maybe play in a couple of early season tournaments down the road. Of course, our scheduling is 2 or 3 years in advance. But some folks didn't call back, and I'll take that as a compliment too. But I think it helped. For example, Oral Roberts is coming here this year for a 2-game set midweek. Rio Grande Valley out of Texas is coming here for 2 games. Those are top 100 RPI type teams, regional type teams. We're going to Missouri State. There's another team plays at the top of their league. We're talking with Dallas Baptist about future games. I even saw Jay Johnson at the National Coach Convention in Columbus, Ohio, and he's like, "Hey, let's talk about doing it again. That was a lot of fun." And then he kind of came back and said, "You know what? I actually don't want to play y'all again," which is a compliment too. But yeah, it's there's a lot of new and a lot of different.
Got Chris Curry with us, head coach of the Little Rock Trojans, and the offseason was good. I mean, the plans of the new stadium, it's the momentum. Did you see momentum like season ticket sales? Have you noticed that?
Yes, I think we're already tripled. We're not sold out. If you want to get in, you can still get in, but I think they tripled. Our athletics director, Frank Cuervo, who was already starting on this even before the regional was over about the next step for our program, but he announced this fall new stadium drawings, and not only for baseball, golf and basketball. And then I'll give you a little scoop. We're going to announce, in the coming days, maybe hours, over the Christmas break, we installed brand new turf on our infield, which is not a small job, just because, Frank didn't wanted the playability for our players to be top notch from an injury standpoint and affecting the outcome of the game. And so just over Christmas, we replaced 14-year-old turf, and it's beautiful, and it'll be coming out, like I said, any day now on social media. We had a recruit on campus. He saw it. He committed an hour later. Did that do the deal? I don't know, but I know it didn't hurt. And so all of those things. Then we have an NIL budget at Little Rock, and that is getting much more attention and much more help. And we're already started on next year's class, and we got a few fall signees.
And you got your first pitch banquet coming up in a week from tomorrow, and you got a big-time guy coming in to speak.
I do. His name is Wes Moore.
No.
He's going to be the MC. No. Oh, you weren't talking. Okay. Kyle Peterson, ESPN analyst. If you're a baseball fan, you know that name right off the bat. He was a first-rounder out of Stanford back in the late 90s. Brewers, big leaguer, got hurt, went immediately into the booth, started calling college games on TV, then MLB, Baseball Tonight, Carl Ravitch, Little League World Series, now Omaha, and then he's a big driver, big part of the D1Baseball.com staff. And so just kind of the, if you will, the Kirk Herbstreit, Jay Billis of college baseball. And he's a nice guy. Kyle is, but I don't know if he comes to Little Rock maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And being able to call a guy and reach out who's a national figure in baseball and bring him in to our banquet. We're almost sold out. There's a few tables left, but it's going to be a full room on Joe Foley Court at the Jack Stevens Center. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome, and awesome to have you back for a third, fourth time around, second time. You always do a good job.
Well, I appreciate just the opportunity, but I'm excited to hear KP speak. I think he is the best, like you said, and it's going to be a fun night a week from tomorrow night. Yeah, get your tickets. Coach, I'm curious, because I know you and known you for a long time. Did this change you at all?
Yeah, that's been the number one thing, just from my inner circles. Starting with my wife, she keeps me grounded, and she's been with me when the phone wasn't ringing, and we weren't winning that many games, and we weren't on TV, and she helps me there. I've got a tight circle with my brothers, my dad, and some other men that I try to meet with regularly. That success. I heard this as well. I follow a lot of college football in the interviews. Success can change you, right? And for the wrong reasons if you let it. And it inevitably, Wes, it has to change you. I think that would be disingenuous to say it hasn't. You just got to be. You're looking at a few different, better things, higher level things. There's a bigger picture. But at the same time, on the ground level, you got to be the same guy. And I think a lot of people are watching us to see how we handle this success. And I got enough people around me to keep me grounded. I know that.
Well, it's going to be fun watching this season, and I know there's just the excitement level is building about this Little Rock program, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun this season. Coach, thank you. We appreciate your time. Have a great practice today, and get ready for opening day.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it, Wes, and I appreciate you, and we'll see you next Thursday.
It's Chris Curry joining us on Out of Bounds. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hello, folks. It's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram store right here in Sherwood. Folks, I want to give you 3 reasons I hope you'll consider to buy from us. Reason number 1, we have the largest total stock of automobiles in Arkansas. How do we do that? We have 3 stores, and each one has a full lot of inventory. By having all these 3 stores in sync with each other, we can get you exactly the product you want. Reason number 2, we study our great competitors every day, and we know their prices, and we price our inventory to be lower than anyone. We're not going to be beat on price. You take that from me. Reason number 3, we have a great service department and a large fleet of loaner cars for our customers. We will treat you like family. Come see us and you will feel comfortable about your entire experience. 3 reasons: biggest stock, lowest price, best service. Come see us on Warden Road in Sherwood, or shop us online at FletcherDeals.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Arkansas Urology is more than a urology clinic, a complete care network for your health with state-of-the-art cancer center, clinical research department, on-site pharmacy, surgery center, and imaging. Your care is close, connected, and convenient. No matter where you are, Arkansas Urology brings advanced care to every corner of the state. From screenings to surgery, there for every step of your journey. 501-219-8900 or visit ArkansasUrology.com. Arkansas Urology, comprehensive care close to home.
Happening now at Lazy Boy of Little Rock, the Inventory Overstock and 2 Great Chairs event. A chair for you and a chair for you. Save big with up to 50% off store-wide. And don't miss grabbing 2 comfortable select chairs at one low price.
You serious, Clark?
Recliners, sofas, comfort has never been more affordable. Get to Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the lazy.
The Bucks are back at the 36th Annual Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic, presented by Arkansas's best Chevy dealers, January 23rd through the 25th at the State Fairgrounds. You could win a lifetime hunting license, a hunting rifle, a $1,000 gift card from Hunter's Refuge, $1,000 from Reliance Bank, or a Bear Den trip from Arkansas's best Chevy dealers. The Taka Hunting Gear Game and Fish Foundation Free Kids Zone, including a trout pond, hoverball, Bwana Gym, and more. Hunters, bring your antlers for your chance to win a Can-Am Defender from Bradford Marine and ATV. Rattlesnakes, chainsaw carving, birds of prey, monster trucks, the Big Buzz Chili Cook-Off, and the Tiger Encounter. The Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic, presented by Arkansas's best Chevy dealers. Tree stands, clothing, RVs, ATVs, UTVs, ammo, and more. It's a Hall of Fame event and an Arkansas tradition. January 23rd to 25th at the State Fairgrounds. Sponsored by Reliance Bank, Arkansas's best Chevy dealers, Bradford Marine and ATV, Can-Am, Hunter's Refuge, Remington, Taka Hunting Gear, Outlaw Beer, and 1037 The Buzz. Visit BigBuckClassic.com and Facebook for more info.
We all know how busy our lives can be these days and how important our time and convenience is as well. And Edwards Food Giant knows that too. So that's why they're inviting you to take advantage of their Heat and Eat Meal Solutions items in the deli department. Delicious Edwards Food Giant signature dishes along with a wide choice of entree and sides, all ready for you to pick up and take home to serve your family tonight. The Heat and Eat Meal Solutions now at your favorite Central Arkansas Edwards Food Giant deli. This week's special is chicken spaghetti for only $7.49 per pound with seasoned corn for $4.49 per pound.
Out of bounds on 1037 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. I'm Wes Moore. He's Joe Franklin. Got a couple minutes here before the top of the hour. If you want to join us, 661-1037. Talked Razorback basketball. Yeah, got a game tonight, 8 o'clock against South Carolina.
Time for the big bounce back. Got to come away with a win.
Yeah, you don't want to you want to avoid a losing streak in the SEC. You got to bounce back after that disappointing outing against Auburn. I would think Arkansas will be motivated tonight. Don't know anything about Carter Knox, whether he'll be able to go tonight or not, but I do know Bet Saracen still has Arkansas an 11.5-point favorite.
It's a huge line.
It is very big. I do not feel good about Arkansas covering tonight. They've been a pretty good cover team, except for against Auburn, of course. South Carolina, and I said this yesterday, I think they only have one double-digit loss, and that was to Vanderbilt. I think they lost to 12. Now, if it's 12 again, Arkansas covers. And, you know, I was down on them about how they played against Ole Miss. I think it carried over against Auburn defensively. And at some point, you go from it's just a trend to where it's a problem. And I'm hoping it's not a problem. And I hope they come out and play really good defense against South Carolina. But if it's not, then all of a sudden we can say, you know what? They're not playing good right now. They got to fix this. They're in a little bit of a slump. And that could be tonight's game. It could be the difference between, all right, they're okay. Here they are. They're back. This is the team we know. Or we can come back on tomorrow and go, you know what? There are some issues. They got to fix these issues. And all of a sudden you're 2-2 in the SEC.
Well, they could come away with a win, but those issues are still there. So they're going to be able to get out of some games with those issues, but it's going to hurt them in some games also. And, you know, you get to figure out, is this who they are? Like Coach Cal was saying, that wasn't my team, but you figure out quickly, is this who they are, and can it be fixed?
Let's go to the text line brought to you by Middleton Heat and Air. Ron in Pine Bluff. What's up, Ron? Says, go Hogs. Here's one from the 870. What do you think our three-point percentage will be tonight? I would say somewhere between 35 and 40.
That's where it needs to be, to have a really good shooting average. But if it's below that, then you probably don't need to take as many shots.
You know, it's funny. They ended up not having a terrible three-point shooting percentage night against Auburn. They just got off to a slow start and just kept jacking it up. And Went 2 for 4 in the second half, and wasn't the reason they lost the game. The 3-point shoot percentage. It was more lack of defense. But I'd guess they're back home shooting at Bud Walton Arena. I'd say close to 35 to 40%. Zach in Palestine. Has Coach lost some respect for Arkansas? Never heard him refer, and he's talking about Coach Curry. I caught that too, Zach. Coach Curry said the other team signed. He said he's never heard to them respond. He never heard Coach Curry refer to them as the other school instead of Arkansas.
Well, he wants the focus to be on Little Rock, and when you're talking to him, you talk to him about Little Rock.
That's
you
just
don't talk to him about Arkansas.
the other school. But we have in the past, because he worked there and he's got his connections and he knows he has no problem when we ask him about what he thinks of Arkansas and what they're going to look like this year. He has responded to that before. But when he was talking about Jackson Wells, he said he signed with that other school. I knew who he was talking about but I didn't know if everybody else caught that and understood that the other school was Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I'll ask him about that next time. Just where that because I've never heard him do that before.
He wants the focus to be on Little Rock.
I said not knocking him or anything, just genuinely curious. I am too, Zach. .501 says, I can't see Tomlin on any sideline other than the black and gold.
Probably won't for at least a year. Could be a couple of years.
It's on the radio. He has 2 years left.
Okay, so the second year is a team option. So that's why essentially it's 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
But they were going to have to make a decision in March if they were going to pick up that team option. So he essentially has 1 year. They picked up the team option, then he would have 2 years.
Would they possibly pick up the team option just to keep it or have his rights so that then you would have to trade for him?
Yes.
But then would he get paid?
He's something.
Huh. That's it. That's interesting. All right, coming up in the second hour, we got Ethan Westerman. We'll talk more Arkansas, South Carolina, more portal. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
If you don't already have the Bet Saracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
I'm Alan LeVar. For 25 years, my team and I have helped injury victims across Arkansas. This is our home. We don't work for insurance companies. We work for you. Car crash, truck wreck, motorcycle collision. We know how to win. And if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. Your consultation is always free and confidential. Hurt in the car? Call LeVar. Arkansas strong for 25 years and ready when you need us. LeVar Law. Arkansas built, Arkansas trusted.
Ray Tucker with good news for enthusiasts of Triumph motorcycles. Honda of North Little Rock now carries the legendary classics and cutting-edge rides. We have the Bonneville Bobber, Daytona 600, the TF450X, the Stunning Ever Special Edition, and the Rocket 3 Evil Knievel. You get the idea. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Willie D's Dueling Pianos has not moved yet. They're still rocking right here in the Little Rock River Market. Dueling Pianos upstairs, DJs downstairs with food and drinks every week. Reserve and learn more at WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Little Rock Police Chief Heath Helton is discussing ways to improve on crime in the capital city. He says he believes embracing new technology like AI operators will help. They would answer some questions when people call, but not for emergency calls. He says the ShotSpotter system they already use has helped report shootings where no other call came in. And those who don't have a real ID are going to have to fork out some cash at the Clinton National Airport. Airport officials say passengers who don't have their real ID or another acceptable form of ID must pay an extra $45 before boarding. The fee will be used for TSA to use its new system called Confirm ID. Agents will try to verify your identification so you can go through security, but there's no guarantee. This will start next month. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
After a little chance of showers early this morning, it's still going to be a cooler, mostly cloudy day and a windy one, too. We'll have north-northwest winds 15 to 25 miles per hour and a high of 56. Tonight, the winds will let up a little bit eventually, but it'll be cold with a low of 26. For the Buzz Radio Network, meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Stick around after each Razorback basketball game for the Bet Saracen Basketball Postgame Show with Wes Moore and Josh Neighbors live from Walk-Ons in Little Rock. Bet Saracen is the leader in sports betting in Arkansas. Make sure you have your Bet Saracen app downloaded to your mobile device. Get the best sports betting app in Arkansas and start winning today.
There's only one dealer who gives you the convenience of 16 locations with 7 brands, over 5,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to shop. I'm, of course, talking about Crane Automotive Team. The Crane Team backs every vehicle with the Crane commitment, including a love it or leave it exchange policy and a 100,000-mile warranty. If your vehicle doesn't have the Crane Team Automotive Team sticker on the back, then you probably pay too much. Visit one of their 16 locations today or online at craneteam.com.
Hey, it's David Basil from my good friends at Bath Fitter. I've been working with Bath Fitter for over a decade now. They're a family-owned business that's been around for over 40 years. They are the pioneers of the acrylic bath industry. Bath Fitter offers a one-of-a-kind remodeling process that's easy and stress-free. They offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers, and with their seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you can refresh your shower space in no time. They can even convert your existing bath into a shower. Check them out online at bathfitterlittlerock.com and tell them Basil sent you.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agents Brian Kress, Monica Reiners, or Caleb Green in North Little Rock today.
Happy New Year from the friendly folks at Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, where you're always greeted by a real person and receiving amazing service. Kick off the year with our New Year auto loan special. Enjoy no payments for 90 days, an ultra-low 2.026% interest rate, and up to 84 months financing. Offer valid on 2024, 25, and 26 models for new and used vehicles or refinance and save. Apply securely today at alcoacommunityfcu.org. Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, proudly serving 15 counties across Central Arkansas.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Ian Fitzsimmons.
This is why this is going to be one of the more coveted jobs, and right there with Baltimore because of the Rooney family and the way they supported Coach. Bill Cowher went from a Super Bowl or an AFC Championship game to, and I'm going off the top of my head here, to 6-10 and like 7-9, and Steeler fans, the Yinzers were going crazy. Get rid of him. Get him out of here. What does the Rooney family do? No, we're good. You know what happens the following year? AFC Championship. You know what happens the following year? Super Bowl. That's what patience, which is the ultimate virtue, gets you when you have an ownership like the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's nobody better. So Mike Tomlin had a heck of a run without a quarterback since Ben R. So you're still making the playoffs with a hodgepodge offensive line, no quarterback, riding that defense, and still finding a way to get to the playoffs every single year. That's pretty much remarkable.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
We got Arkansas, South Carolina tonight. Bud Walton Arena. Game starts at 8 o'clock. Hear it right here on The Buzz. Don't forget about the Bet Saracen post-game show live from Walk-Ons. Josh Neighbors and myself will be at Walk-Ons, hanging out, watching the game, and then doing the post-game show live there. It's on the SEC Network tonight. Mike Norgan and John Sonvold are doing the game on TV. Got Nick Pringle facing his old team, some of his old teammates. And then Carter Knox, his brother Kobe Knox, plays for South Carolina. To be determined if Carter Knox will be able to play after that hip injury. Arkansas is 24-18 against South Carolina. 12-6 in Fayetteville. Won 9 of the last 5, but we remember what happened last year at South Carolina. Boy, that was an ugly one, right? Laid an egg. But they got their revenge at the SEC tournament, 72-68.
Got to win when it really mattered.
72-53 in Columbia. 19-point victory, and it wasn't that close. It was one of those that was just – I remember we were sitting there watching it at Sauce. We're just ready to settle in and watch this great game. 10 minutes in, we're like, all right, now what? Now what are we doing? That one got out of hand really quickly. Portal-wise, no news out of the portal yesterday until last night. Hank Hendricks, not a portal move, but Hank Hendricks made it official, the quarterback from Fayetteville High School, that he was indeed going to reclassify and join the Arkansas Razorbacks when he graduates in May. So they got their 4th quarterback that they were looking for. And, this is a highly recruited quarterback that's reclassifying. We got the note yesterday. I don't think I ever told you yesterday, but Kevin Bohannon was listening, and he gave us the numbers for him. Where did that go? I guess he texted it to me and you. But anyway, he was a top 15 quarterback, top 200 overall prospect in the country. And I think he was number 11 quarterback. I'm trying to go through all my text messages. So many. Joe is getting Ethan. And I can't find the exact number. So anyway, just have to trust me. Highly recruited quarterback, Hank Hendricks, is going to reclassify and join the University of Arkansas as their 4th quarterback. And they are having a couple of guys visit. There was some news. Didn't turn out to be good news, but Elijah Hill out of Bryant. Defensive end, love that dude coming out of high school. He signed with Kennesaw State out of high school. And I remember talking with Quad Sanders. He said he is in his opinion, he's a David Walker type. Former UCA Bear, got drafted. Said that this guy's got a great motor and just has that knack of getting to the quarterback. And went to Kennesaw State, had 9 sacks as a true freshman. Just got after the quarterback. He entered the portal, and I was like, go get him, Arkansas. Go get that guy. Take a chance. In-state kid, just take a chance. Visited Kansas State and committed to Kansas State. I was a little disappointed in that, but good for Elijah Hill. I mean, he was just unstoppable in high school. Play after play after play. And sounded like he was the same way at Kennesaw State with 9 sacks as a true freshman. Now I have to keep an eye on him at Kansas State. While we're waiting on Ethan, let me go to the text line. What does reclassify mean? Reclassify means he's skipping a senior year, basically. He's reclassifying from a junior to a senior. He's changing classes because he obviously had enough credits throughout his high school career that he could do that and basically skip his senior year and graduate a year early. 501 says, isn't the whole Hank Hendricks story being blown out of proportion? Great for the kid, and we keep the number one player in the state at home. Casey Dick has sour grapes. I think that's why it was blown out of proportion, because it's a former Razorback coaching in Fayetteville, half a mile from the university, less than that, blocks away. And then when he ended his tweet by saying that Silverfield and the Razorbacks would not be welcome on his campus, yeah, that got attention. Now, he deleted it, came back, he apologized, admitted he overreacted in the heat of the moment. That's why it blew up. But now, I think everybody's good. Said he looked forward to meeting with Coach Silverfield and the staff and get back on the same page. Boyd says Silverfield is not going to recruit Arkansas athletes. Boyd, honestly, I'm beginning to think you have no idea what you're talking about, or you just like stirring it up. Since he just got a kid to reclassify, signed 6-7 guys from the state of Arkansas this year, got 4 to flip, and he's already offered a couple of more juniors that weren't being pursued by the University of Arkansas before he got there. One out of Fordyce, one out of Arkadelphia. So he is obviously recruiting the state of Arkansas. Wes, how come we always get the 8 o'clock games? It's kind of prime time. The ESPN, SEC Network, they try to put their best games at 8 o'clock. So the audience builds throughout the night. You got the 6 o'clock game, and it builds into the 8 o'clock game.
I don't know if it's the best game. They have really good games at 6.
But they
like to have
layer
a couple of good games.
Yeah, they layer it with game after game. So that is why. And it makes sense to put in the SEC, not a East Coast team or Eastern time zone team, at 8 o'clock. You put them at 6 o'clock. And at least with Arkansas and like A&M, Missouri, some others, LSU.
Well, they're probably thinking of South Carolina last year. That was an 8 o'clock game on the East Coast.
No, that was a morning game. That was early. At South Carolina?
Yeah.
No, that was not at night.
It was. It may not have been last year. It may have been the year before, but they played South Carolina in a late game during conference play.
I have to look that up. No, they played in the SEC tournament.
No. Conference game.
At South Carolina.
At South Carolina, late.
I have to look that up. Let's go to Ethan Westerman. He joins us now. What's up, Ethan? How are you?
I'm good. Just, getting ready for some nighttime hoops today, We'll be out there late tonight.
Yeah. Let's see, 10 o'clock. Well, let's say 10:15. Depending on the officials, could be 10:30. And then there's the IMG postgame show, and then I do the Razorback postgame show here on the Buzz. We may not go on the air till about 10:45, 11 o'clock tonight. So, yes, it is going to be a late night.
You remember, I think it was the first year under Eric Musselman, there was a night game against South Carolina at home. And, knock on wood right now, that was a ref show. That was Arkansas lost, I think on a last-second three, Isaiah Joe tried to win it. But the rest, I don't even remember the foul call number in that game, but it was absurd. So let's hope that we don't have a repeat performance of that year.
I remember that exactly because we did not get out of here till well past midnight. And it was a early turnaround for me the next day. So, yes, we've had some of those ref shows that go on and on and on, and you're like, what are we doing? Can we just not let them play? And there is a foul called every single possession, and it turns into a very long game.
Yeah, there's been some late night games, I feel like, in recent years where we're just begging the refs to stop. Last year at Texas, I remember, too, that game, it felt like it went on forever because the refs just could not stop blowing the whistle. I hate whenever, I'm all for just calling it the right way the whole way through the game. I hate whenever you get a tighter whistle in the second half. Like, why are you not calling it the same way you did in the first half?
No, it happened the game before last. We counted. There were like 9 free throws shot in the first half, and in the second half there were 40-something. And it was like, what happened? Because there was no chippiness. It was the Ole Miss game. There was no chippiness. There's no mouthing off. It wasn't like they had to take control of the game before they lost control. And all of a sudden, you have a first half that's clean. It's played well, fast-paced. I think it was like a 40-minute first half. The second half was an hour and 5 minutes.
Goodness.
Level of concern for this team defensively after the second half against Ole Miss and then the game against Auburn is what?
I mean, I think it's, as of right now, up there. It's like you can't watch those 2 back-to-back games and just think everything's fine and dandy on the defensive end. That's for sure. But I do think that we've seen this team play well defensively at times this year. It's just how can you bottle that up and do it more consistently? Like, I mean, you think about the Ole Miss game. Like, they were actually having a decent defensive game until, like you said, the second half toward the end. Credit Ole Miss for making some just crazy shots, too, in that game. Like, they had a lot to do with that. But, I mean, it's, you have enough evidence now that the defensive numbers, I mean, it hasn't been Arkansas' strong suit. So you just look for them to maybe get a little bit more consistent there. They have the offense this year. They can score. You just have to have a defense that's better than what it's been recently. I mean, this doesn't have to be the best defense in the world, but it needs to be better than what it was at Ole Miss and obviously at Auburn.
You think they realize that this is the strength of the team, that they can, most times they can just line up on the court and just go outscore teams. And so if that's their strength, they're the players, not the coaches, but the players are kind of relying on that more at times where they just feel like they're more talented. They can line up and score and outscore teams.
Yeah, what I want to see from them is just to take the same intensity that they have. Like, you take the Tennessee game, for example. Like, you knew they went into that game knowing, like, hey, we got to really rebound. We got to really defend. Like, just do that against whoever you play. You know what I mean? I think that's the mentality shift that they're going to have at some point, just to go to that next level, is to just be able to get up for whoever the opponent is. I mean, they're, like you said, they're really talented offensively, but it's the other stuff. It's the rebounding and contesting the three-point line, that sort of stuff that, you just want to see them do no matter who they're playing. I mean, tonight's a great opportunity to show if they've learned, from that little road stretch.
I think South Carolina's record can be deceiving. 10-6, off to a slow start in the SEC, although they did go on the road and beat LSU. But you look at their losses, their 6 losses were all close. They lost to 7 by Butler, 2 by Northwestern, 3 to Virginia Tech, 7 to Clemson on the road. 12 is the biggest deficit when they lost to Vanderbilt, and then had a 5-point loss to a good Georgia team. So they've been in these games. They just have lost 6 games. So it would not surprise me if tonight is like a 5-point, 6-point victory for Arkansas.
Yeah, same here. I was kind of looking at them earlier, and that's why you always have to just look at a team more than just its record, because I mean, there's some teams that have a bad record, and then you look at them, and they are just a lifeless team. You should just beat them. South Carolina's a team that don't catch them on a night where you're not up to play. They're talented enough to beat you. Michi Johnson, he's a guy that we're well familiar with now. He's a veteran. He's a guy who, if you just aren't coming out aggressive and you aren't on your game, he's a guy who can fill it up and make you embarrassed. I mean, you think about last year whenever Arkansas went to South Carolina. That's a team that it was also deceiving. If you look, they were deceiving that year too. If you looked at their record and how they weren't winning any SEC games, and then you watched the games itself, you knew that they was a team that was going to beat somebody. And then, Arkansas got to be the team that they went and spanked.
Anyone else on that South Carolina roster that's concerning?
Not overly, to be honest. I think that they have capable guys. That's these are all college basketball players playing in the SEC. They're, you can't just take them lightly. But he's really the one that it feels like you've got to cut the head off the snake with him. I know they have Carter Knox's brother plays for him. That's kind of cool. Kobe Knox. They have a guy with, a last name that I'm not even going to try and pronounce. Sharav Mance or something. He's from Mongolia, but he averages 12 points a game. He can shoot a little bit. I think that he's one that, could, potentially be a problem. I will say, I did watch their game against LSU, and I think it was the big man Strong. He took over that game. He scored 30 points, and he was just dominant in that one. So I guess, they have one guy that he hasn't shown that he can do that consistently night in and night out, but he's capable. So like I said, they have capable guys, and I think you just got to cut the head off the snake with Michi Johnson. I know they also have Miles Studi, who used to play at Vanderbilt. I think he was at South Carolina last year, but maybe missed the year with injury. So they have some guys that have been around. These are SEC basketball players.
Yeah. You mentioned Carter Knox. You got a feel if he plays tonight?
They had the availability report last night, and I think he was probable on it. So that's about as official as it can come for right now. And I would think that means that he's going to be able to play. But I also think that it would. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like any sort of minutes restriction or something there, just because you don't want to mess with that here in January and set him back even further if it's something that really could use a little bit more time to heal up.
Let's move over to the portal. How do you feel about the portal class so far? I think it's at 34.
Yeah, there's some guys in there for sure. It's one of those things. It's really hard, honestly, to have a really great grasp of just how good any portal haul is unless you're just having some teams have that one that without a doubt. Like, it's really just like they're bringing in some big-time stars, and that it's a pretty good class. I think most of these portal classes are kind of looking similarly to Arkansas's, to where it's like, guys that are all capable. They've shown, like, they have some talent. They bring in some guys that maybe haven't had their chance yet in college, but were highly recruited out of high school. And then you just got to trust the talent evaluation. But, there's some guys in there for sure that I think you can get excited about. I think we talked about him last week, House, the linebacker from North Carolina. He's one that I just expect to come in and be a real big-time player. And then you move over to the offensive side of the ball, and I think that you're starting to see maybe some more of those real playmakers come in as far as, like, you have Chris Marshall, the Boise State receiver who they got in. You've got some others in there, the Jasper Parker, the Michigan running back. You have some guys that I think are going to be playmakers. It's just a matter of sometimes, you look at guys and you say they're not experienced. And it's not that they aren't capable. It's just they haven't had their opportunity yet. And I think Arkansas might have quite a few of those guys that they've gotten in. But, it's a portal class that I think certainly isn't bad. I don't know. It's just going to wow anybody, but it's not bad.
Is there a position of need, something they still need to address, in your opinion?
I'm one of those that I think you can always just bolster up your defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they come at a premium in the portal because it's hard to find a really good defensive lineman, but I think that they're going to still have to, to add some more there. I know they got the guy from Coffeyville, Antonio Bascom. They got him. They got Hunter Osborne, the lineman from Virginia. They've got some guys in there, but I think that you still got to really hit that hard and get some more of those guys in there. But I'd expect we'll see more of those come in for sure, especially just with, like, Arkansas was already thin there last year, and then you lost Ian Jaffard and Danny Saili. Like, you're more thin than you were.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just a position that they're going to have to just keep on getting some more defensive linemen. I don't think we're anywhere close to seeing that room full yet.
I saw where two brothers, I think they played at Washington. I think it was Richard Davenport tweeted it, that they have a visit scheduled. Now they're going to like 3 other places also, but I looked them up, and when they're healthy, they were good, but they just can't stay healthy. Both of them had just have issue after issue and injury. One of them tore an Achilles, missed an entire year, and it's just been kind of one of those, you're like, gosh, bad luck for these two guys. And I don't know if it's a package deal, but that would bolster that if they could stay healthy. A lot of ifs there, right? But that's kind of where they are right now.
Yeah.
And it's towards the end of the portal, and not a whole lot out there. I'm sure most of the best prospects have already been taken.
Yeah, and that's where you're at with it right now. It's just like, there's still some guys out there, and it's a matter of I think it's for a matter of patience because we do have to remember, like, the portal, it closes on the 16th. And when it closes, which, you know, the 16th, I say the date, that's Friday, that's in 2 days. The portal closes in 2 days. But there's going to be some guys that are still in the portal for a little bit that they're still getting recruited. We won't have a full grasp of this Arkansas transfer class, I don't think, for maybe a couple weeks still from now, because there's still going to be some guys out there that are up for grabs. But, you know, it's funny whenever all this happens and you're going and assembling a new roster through the portal. You have a guy like Crowley, I think it's Gaizika Crowley is how you say his first name. I hope I got it right. But he's a guy who I just trust from his background with his involvement with helping piece together a roster, that their talent evaluation, I would think this go-around in the portal has got to be, at bare minimum, there's a lot more investment there as far as you have a guy that's proven that he can kind of piece together that puzzle and come alongside the other front office staff to put together a roster that maybe none of the names that, like, really, really splashy or anything yet, but guys that they know can play and piece together well.
I meant to ask Richard Davenport, and he'll be with us tomorrow, but is there anything stopping a team? Let's say, like you were explaining, the portal closes Friday. That means they can't go into the portal anymore, but teams can still sign them afterwards. Could you go through spring ball, finish up your spring, and realize, God, we're still short at this position, and sign a guy out of the portal, and then he starts summer school with you?
Yeah, I guess in theory that could happen. I just don't know that there will be that many people who are still in the portal at that point because, now that we've shrunk it down to just one window, I really don't think that that's going to be very common. I think that's why the portal cycles comes at a premium now just with how you treat it because of you don't have that post-spring real analysis again like you did in the past where you could just attack the portal again. Then I think that you really got to kind of hit it right now. There's still some good, there's some really good players that are still out there in the portal right now. I'm not saying Arkansas is going to get them, but if you check On3 or any of those sites that kind of rank transfers, there's still quite a few on the list of top transfers that are still looking for homes. That you just wonder if Arkansas could maybe get a late push with some of those guys.
Ethan, thanks, man. Enjoy the game tonight. I hope it's not too late of a night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Thanks. Ethan Westerman from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, WholeHogSports.com. All right, when we come back, we'll have an open segment for you. You can join us, 661-1037. You can also hit me on the text line brought to you by Middleton Heat and Air. I'll check the live fan feedback, and we'll get you involved. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment presents Coach Nolan Richardson when he joins Drive Time Sports every week with Rollin' with Nolan. Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Bowen. Find them online at ametrucks.com.
This is SportsCenter.
In the NFL yesterday, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin announced he would be stepping down after 19 years in Pittsburgh without a losing season. He helped lead the Steelers to a Super Bowl in 2009, making it back in 2011, though ultimately losing to the Packers. Regular season success was a constant in his tenure, but postseason success had waned as Pittsburgh had not won a postseason game since 2016, losing 7 straight in the process. The Steelers were now looked for their 4th head coach since 1969. Teams have inquired about Tomlin, but he is not expected to coach in 2026. And in Arkansas football news, the Razorbacks have officially landed 2027 4-star quarterback Hank Hendricks, who is reclassifying and enrolling in May. He's the son of Arkansas senior defensive analyst Che Hendricks. Hendricks held offers from Auburn, Michigan, Ole Miss, Missouri, and others. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
What's on Tap, brought to you by Flyway Brewing, weekdays in the zone, where we'll break down what you should be watching and listening for on the Buzz every day during the work week. Flyway Brewing, fresh beer starts here. Follow the migration, and the Little Rock location is now open in Breckenridge Village. Find out more about all they have to offer at flywaybrewing.com.
Experience the unmistakable difference today at D3 Auto Sales in Des Arc or West Memphis. D3 Auto Sales is your home for quality used trucks, SUVs, and cars from all top brands, specializing in unique customized lifted and leveled used trucks, including four-wheel drives. And this commitment to excellence extends to their full-service 10-bay service department as well. Also, looking to trade in or sell your vehicle? D3 Auto Sales pays top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. D3AutoSales.com.
Crawfish season is finally back at Eat My Catfish. We've got fresh, live crawfish, and all you have to do is just add the fixins. Be sure to come see us or order online at eatmycatfish.com. Eat local, eat fresh, eat my catfish.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. When the slick and slippery Lane Kiffin quit on his playoff-bound Ole Miss team to defect to their hated rival LSU, he guaranteed some future rough receptions in Oxford. But it was his #God's plan that got me. Really, Lane? Why is it always God's plan for us to make more money and have more power? People are going to do what they do. Just stop calling what you want to do God's plan. A lot of us, probably God as well, are sick of it. Doublebee's cashiers can help you sign up for a rewards card that will enable you to save money on all purchases at all stores. Just think, with all that money you'll save, you'll finally be able to afford that operation. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus, lots of fun choices. Like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Brand new players get a 100% profit boost just for downloading the Bet Saracen app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
This is Thomas Blackman's Blackman Auction. Since 1938, we've handled many different types of auctions. We sold bulldozers, excavators, farm tractors, farms, locomotives, fully custom rail cars, vehicles, Harley-Davidsons, cows, lake houses, hunting properties, pickups, heavy trucks, big trailers, plus hundreds of other random things. Honestly, if it's for sale, we probably sold it. Our knowledge and experience is priceless, much like your hard-earned assets. Since 1938, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions.
The circle of life includes death. Small estates, large probates, or trust administrations? Hire the Lions. Life's a jungle. Be healthy, wealthy, and wise with Lion Legal. For exceptional communication and exceptional results, hire Lion Legal to come roaring to the rescue.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios.
All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us. Got an open segment if you want to join us, 661-1037. Saw on Twitter, Dante Moore, the starting quarterback at Oregon, has announced he's coming back to school, not entering the NFL draft.
He did that live on SportsCenter.
Thought that was surprising with this year's class. Might have been the number 1, number 2 pick. Going back to Oregon, getting paid, I'm sure. And next year, so I've already seen someone tweet next year's the 2027 draft. It says it's going to be epic. A number of great players already shaping up to be huge draft. That's where you got to read the room, right?
Well, if you can be one of the top picks in this upcoming draft, you don't have to jump in with everyone else, which, you know, they're saying is going to be a great draft, because going back to last season, the talk was this was going to be a great draft. The draft that was upon us wouldn't be good. This upcoming draft, 2026, was going to be great, and now it's shifted.
Mm-hmm. So why not take advantage of it and get in there?
Exactly.
Oh, I was a little surprised. Let's go to the Middleton Heat and Air text line. 901, we were talking basketball, and he said if Arkansas plays defense like the last two games, they will not win tonight. Arkansas will lose to South Carolina. They're a good club. Michi Johnson will light them up if the defense doesn't improve. I agree. They better step it up tonight, or they could find themselves, and we've seen it the last couple of years, there's always that surprising home loss, and you're like, where did that come from? What happened there? That trend needs to stop. It's hard to go 9-0 at home in the SEC, and we've already seen some teams lose at home this year, but take advantage of that home court, that crowd, and go 9-0. Take care of South Carolina. You're a big favorite tonight, but, yeah, you got to go out there and win it and take it. Can't think you're just going to outscore South Carolina because, yeah, Michi could have one of those games and goes off, and you look up and he's got 28, 35 points, and Arkansas could have a bad shooting night, right? And
they could.
Defense, they say, travels, but you know what? Defense can get it done at home too. And good defense leads to good offense, especially for this team. That's one of the things that's been missing. They were such a good fast break team. They haven't had as many opportunities. You know why? You don't get stops and you're taking the ball out of the net, not from out of bounds. It's hard to get fast break points. Get some stops, rebounds, run, go. Get a steal, fast break point.
Get some easy baskets.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do, especially with the speed of those guards and the way they play. You want to get some easy ones.
Can Arkansas win 5 games next year? Portal is better, but other teams are getting good kids too. I say 4 wins at the most.
Well, it'd be better than 2 wins.
Yep.
You want to first goal, you want to try to get bowl eligible, but you want to be in a position to win conference. Don't know if they're going to be even close to that, but if you can go from a 2-win team and become a bowl-eligible team, that would show a lot of growth.
Think about this, Joe, with going to a 9-game SEC schedule next year, and you got Utah. If you go 2-1 in the non-conference, to get bowl-eligible, you have to go 4-5 in the SEC. You got to get 4 SEC wins. Now, if you can beat Utah, then you just need 3 SEC wins. Go 3-6, but still, it's another brutal schedule. 870 has a question. It's a good question. What is Mahomes 2.0 going to do now since Moore is returning to Oregon? Forgot about that. They signed the Nebraska quarterback. Was it Dylan Raiola?
Yeah, Raiola.
Huh. Maybe the paperwork hasn't been turned in yet, and he changes his mind and goes somewhere else. You know, and they could always let him out of it, the agreement.
Oh, yeah.
And let him go back into the portal. But that is, I forgot totally about that. Peyton and Cersei. I say let's be confident in a line that big and take care of business on our own floor. Big bounce back win tonight. Give me the Hogs tonight, 88-74. Woo pig. Peyton, I like that. 14-point victory. That will be a fun night. 88 points, hold South Carolina to 74. Let me look there at South Carolina. What kind of offense they've been doing, how many points they normally put up in some of their victories or in some of their losses. 10-6 on the season. I told you the 6 games they lost and how by, not many points. Let's see here. They got started with some bye games. Won their first 4 games. They scored 91, 83, 81, 87. Gave up 72, 79, 61, 58. Lost to Butler, 79-72. Lost to Northwestern, 79-72. Got a home victory over CHSO. Who is that? Had to click on the icon. Charleston Southern. Beat Charleston Southern 74-62. Lost to Virginia Tech 86-83. Had a couple more bye games. They won 82-51, 71-55. Lost at Clemson 68-61. And then finished up non-conference with a couple more bye games, 95-70, 96-67. So they can score. They can put up some points. Their SEC scores 83-71, 78-68, 75-7. Now, Georgia likes to get up and down the court. That was 75-70. So they played some nice defense to hold Georgia to 75. But, yeah, I would say that looks like 88-74, pretty good total. Pretty good. I would sign up for that right now, Peyton. Ron in Pine Bluff says got to get at least 6 wins.
Got to get at least 6. It's going to be tough.
JW had a question. He says, Wes, I don't remember or recall the NFL game it was, but we see this play 1,000 times. That's spiking the ball. But this one time, this weekend, and he said, like I said, I watched so many games, I can't remember which one it was, but they gave him a penalty for intentional grounding. Well, spiking the ball to stop the clock is not intentional grounding. That is a rule that allows you to stop the clock, although it is intentional grounding by definition. Isn't that kind of odd? I mean, that is intentional grounding. You are intentionally stopping, throwing it in the ground, no receiver around, you're in the pocket. But it is a rule that allows the team to stop the clock. So they shouldn't have called a penalty. Must have been something else.
Yeah, I don't know what the situation was there.
I'm not sure. You can do it. Jeff says, Pringle is going to have a big night. Big night for Nick Pringle would be a double-double, like 10 and 10. He doesn't score a whole lot of points. I wonder what his high point for the year is. Has he hit double digits? I think he did have a game where he hit double digits. It was one of those like he hit a couple free throws and was like 4 for 4 from the field or 5 for 5, and they were like dunks. I think he has hit double digits once this year.
He would, hopefully. Hopefully he has.
I bet he has. Let's see, how many games they played now? What is their record? They are 12-4. Our board is wrong. It says 13-3. The morning guys can't even get the record right. 12-4. So 16 games. I bet he's averaging about 3 shots a game. I bet he's taking less than 50 shots this year. Hell,
He has 40.
I was about to say, I can look up the stats. That means I bet he's got a pretty good percentage, though.
27 of 40.
Yeah.
68%.
When you dunk it a lot, alley-oops, it helps that percentage go up. I wonder how many of those 40 shots have been not layups or dunks. I mean, can y'all remember Nick Pringle taking a jump shot this year?
Maybe 13 of them since he missed 13.
That's wrong, Joe. He's been blocked a couple of times, like at the rim, so that's a missed shot.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the stats are there game by game.
479 says, I don't understand, and I'm keeping an eye on the clock so I don't blow past this break like I did yesterday. I don't understand why we shoot, and everybody starts running the other way, and most of the time we have 2 or 3 chances. Make an effort. Make it memory training. Coach it, instill it. It will happen. Yeah, there was a shot last week. I think it was Boogie. It was Darius Acuff, little 15-footer, but he hit. It was like a fadeaway, and it looked good. It was that perfect angle, from the camera, and you're like, oh, that's good. And it hit the back of the rim, bounced right back to him. But he was kind of fading away, and I'm sure he thought he made it. As a shooter, you got that feel. Well, that's good. And he was just kind of floating back. And the defender made a jump, and he was also running with him, and it hits the floor. Nobody was there to rebound it, and you're like, follow your shot. That's an easy rebound for you. But I know what you're talking about. I've seen it too many times. I've seen it, and it irritates the heck out of me. A shot goes up, Brazil standing on the three-point line, and he just stands there and watches. I'm like, you're 6'10", you can jump out of the building, shot goes up, you got to go to the basket. If you just stand there and watch, you're useless. Go to the basket. Now, keep in mind, there are guys who are assigned to get back on defense. In case the shot is no good, you got to get back to keep the other team from getting a fast break. And I will say against Auburn, they were having multiple guys get back because Auburn and what they like to do, they like to get out and run. So you had to get back on defense. And most of the time it's your point guard. Well, if Darius is driving in, that 2 guard knows he has to get back and replace Darius as the primary guy to get back. And if it's a second guy, it's the guy at the top of the key, whether it's your 3 or whoever, has to get back. And you did see that against Auburn some instead of attacking the glass. Now, against Tennessee, it was different because obviously the scouting report was Tennessee doesn't run as much. So they were crashing the glass. And that's why Arkansas had as many offensive rebounds as Tennessee, because they were going to the glass without the threat of Tennessee going and running. So I think it's a different game plan for the different team, whoever you're playing.
That matters. That matters based on the matchup. It's going to be a strategy. You can't just play one way. You have to be prepared to play and counter what your opponent is doing.
501 says Fred Warner may be back this weekend. That's something he heard.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
Wow, that'd be huge.
Because there was talk that he may have returned last week, and then they ruled him out late.
I saw Kendricks for the 49ers had a nice game last week. He was with the Cowboys the year before. I liked him a lot. I was hoping the Cowboys would keep him. I thought he played well. 501, when we were talking to Coach Kelly, and he said it's only happened, I think he said twice in history that a team went on the road all 3 weeks in the playoffs and won all 3 to get to the Super Bowl. And I was thinking the Giants are the other one, right? And that's what this texter said. Weren't the Giants, didn't they go to the Super Bowl by winning 3 straight games on the road?
They did, yeah. Steelers and Giants did it back-to-back years.
So that's the 3 teams or the 2 teams that have done it.
Yeah.
Steelers and Giants. Yeah, I remember the Giants got hot at the right time. They just started playing their best football and got better and better and better and went to the play. And that's what I was thinking. They won 3.
The sign for Giants that year was when they played such a close game against Patriots. You know, they had an up-and-down season, but later in the year played Patriots when they were undefeated. They played a really close game, and then they got into playoffs, went on a streak, saw them again in Super Bowl. They were able to beat them.
Did y'all see the clip of the final play of the Patriots game when they were trying to get Hunter Henry to take the victory formation snap?
No, didn't see that.
I was watching the game. I didn't see that. I didn't notice it. I may have, once I knew the game was over, wasn't paying attention. But that's kind of cool. All right, we got to take a break. I got more texts coming in. I appreciate all y'all texting in. You can always call, too, if you want to join us, 661-1037. Take a break. Final break of the second hour. It's Out of Bounds.
Oaklawn is here for when you want nonstop racing and nonstop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Start 2026 on the move. Don't let joint pain stop you from reaching your New Year's resolutions or just having that lifestyle that you've wanted for a while now. Hit the ground running in 2026 with QC Kinetics. They deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Achy knees, hips, shoulders, back, wherever that joint pain is, QC Kinetics is here to help. One of the great things about it is there is no surgery, there's no recovery, which can be the harder part of that surgical procedure. And also, there's no pain. Imagine instead you're moving better, stronger, and planning the year you actually want with all of the activities that you want because you use treatment from QC Kinetics. January is supposed to be your clean slate, so make it one. Stop managing the pain and start solving it now with QC Kinetics. Call for your free consultation at 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. Call QC Kinetics today.
Check out the new clothing at Bell & Sword in Conway. A new cricket polo with Razorback logo, button-downs, vests, sweaters, slacks with UCA or Arkansas gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. Great staff, fantastic service. Bell & Sword, the only Central Arkansas men's store with a tailor on staff to fit you. So go now to Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
My Lowe's Pro Rewards members go big during Lowe's Pro Savings Days. Get member volume discounts plus an extra 5% off eligible orders with a quote of $2,000 or more. Plus, buy more and save more with up to 25% off DWV pipes when you spend $250 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 123. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Can't be combined with any contract or special pricing. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowes.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
BKC Home Builders are the premier home builders, providing custom builds and remodels. No matter what size your dream is, BKC will walk you through all the phases, from house plans to landscaping, to make your custom home as beautiful as you imagine. The team at BKC will be with you through the entire process. If you're looking for commercial building or remodeling, BKC has your commercial needs covered as well. BKCHomebuilders.com or find them on Facebook. That's BKC Home Builders in Hot Springs.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. The Big Rock Bentley.
Everyone knows the big deals are at Chris Crane Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and in the new year, we're going to be even bigger.
That's right, Steve. Right now, get up to $15,000 off new Ram pickup trucks, or choose 0% financing for a full 72 months. And get new Jeep Wranglers up to $12,000 off MSRP. Come see us today at the Big Lot, Chris Crane Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Benton, or online at chriscranecars.com.
The Big Rock Bentley.
Out of bounds on 1037 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union. Membership has its rewards with low-rate auto loans, competitive mortgages, and one of the lowest interest rate credit cards in the nation. TruService Credit Union. Online at TruService.net.
Sometimes I feel the fear of uncertainty stinging clear.
Welcome back. Final segment of this hour. Got what's trending coming up here in a few minutes. Go back to the Middleton Heat and Air live fan feedback. I'm sorry, text line. 828. It's Terry in Stuttgart. Why do referees and coaches not make players tuck their jerseys in? If Nolan or Eddie was still coaching, this would not be happening. Well, the referees do make them tuck in their jerseys. Remember, it was just a couple games ago when Malik Ewing, he kept telling him to tuck it in, and he'd kind of halfway tuck it in. He's like, no, tuck it in all the way, and had an issue with it, wouldn't tuck it in, and took him out of the game. Made him leave the game until he tucked his jersey in. I did the UCA girls game Saturday afternoon, and I was noticing now in women's college basketball, they have taken that rule out that they don't have to tuck their jerseys in.
Really?
Because, yeah, they just changed that this year. But it's because the women's jerseys have become shorter. And in the years past, they couldn't keep those jerseys tucked in. You know, you start running around, you're shooting, you're jumping, your hands are going up. You know, it just pulls the shirt and the jersey out of your shorts. Because their jerseys were so short, they couldn't keep them tucked in, so they just changed the rule. If the guys don't like tucking in the jerseys, why don't you just do that? Buy shorter jerseys, get the rules changed, then you don't have to tuck them in. Wouldn't that be – and I was looking at it, how because they are short, it doesn't look sloppy at all. You know, almost just looks like it's because they're so short, it looks like they're tucked in already, but they're not. So I think that's a simple fix to the problem.
Yeah, it definitely is. Maybe you have some players that already would try to do something custom. Don't know if they would do that on the college level, but in pro sports, you can have custom-made jerseys, custom-made uniforms, because Derrick Henry is an example of that, where he has a short jersey because he doesn't want to allow defenders to be able to grab anything. So his jersey is already custom made short, and he doesn't tuck his in. It always seems like it's kind of going up on his waistline where you can see his midsection, but it's because his jersey is already short.
I was watching a Cowboys game the other day, well, several weeks ago because they haven't been in the playoffs. But it was a home game, and I remember the little slot receiver, return guy for the Cowboys.
Turpin.
Had on a T-shirt under his jersey, a white T-shirt, but it wasn't tucked in. And I remember thinking, dude, he needs to tuck that in. 2 plays later, Joe, he's running, and a guy grabs the T-shirt and is pulling him back, and it helps to hold him back and get him out of bounds and tackle him. And as he's pulling it, of course, it's a T-shirt.
It ripped.
It started ripping.
Yeah.
So Turpin leaves the game, and he comes back about 2 plays later, and they had cut that T-shirt all the way around, and so it was real small. And I'm like, dude, maybe if you'd had that tucked in or cut before, you score a touchdown there.
There are a few players around the league, and it seems like the ones that are at skill positions that they wear longer T-shirts under the jersey.
501 asks, well, why is there a shirt rule in basketball? Now, years ago when I was played, I was always told, tuck your shirt in. They don't want anybody you're reaching, grabbing, and your fingers get caught in the jerseys and break a finger. That's why they were always telling us. Now, that was years ago.
You had those mesh jerseys?
Yeah. Now, that was the policy back then, and that's why you can't have pockets on shorts that you play in. Because if there was a pocket, you're guarding someone, you have your hands on, and your finger gets in the pocket, and all of a sudden your finger gets ripped off or broken. But that's what I always assume. I don't know. That's my assumption. I didn't see the game that he's talking about, but you have to spike the ball from under the center. If you spike from shotgun formation, it is intentional grounding.
Now, that does make a difference.
Would also bet that Pringle averages more fouls than shots taken per game. That could be close, Joe. You still have Pringle's stats up?
No.
40 shots, 16 games, he might have more fouls than shots taken. It's a good point. Got more to get to. We'll do that. We'll hit it again later in the show. Thanks for all the text. Live fan feedback. Yeah, we got something over there too. Oh, Central Arkansas volleyball coach John Newberry signed a contract extension, keeping him around. Congratulations. That's great for UCA. Had a great run. All right, final hour coming up next. We'll take a look at what's trending. It's Out of Bounds.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter agent Hayden Strickland in Sherwood, Vic Seidenschwartz in Carlisle, or Todd Matthews in Benton today.
Happening now at Lazy Boy of Little Rock, the inventory overstock and 2 great chairs event. A chair for you and a chair for you. Save big with up to 50% off store-wide, and don't miss grabbing 2 comfortable select chairs at one low price. You serious, Clark? Recliners, sofas, comfort has never been more affordable. Get to Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the lazy.
Ray Tucker with good news for enthusiasts of Triumph motorcycles. Honda of North Little Rock now carries the legendary classics and cutting-edge rides. We have the Bonneville Bobber, Daytona 600, the TF450X, the stunning Elvis Presley edition, and the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. You get the idea. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
The Arkansas Travelers are celebrating their 125th anniversary this year, and you have a chance to get tickets for a fraction of the normal price. The team is hosting a flash sale this Friday for general admission and field reserve tickets. They'll only cost you $1.25, but you'll only have 125 minutes to get in on this deal. The clock starts at 10 a.m. on Friday morning and lasts until 12:05 p.m. There is a 6-ticket limit per transaction, and the Benton Parks and Recreation Department is getting some money to upgrade Tyndall Park. The U.S. Tennis Association is awarding $22,000 to resurface the tennis courts. The association's grant program is to help existing tennis venues around the U.S. and grow participation and interest in the sport. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
It's going to be a mostly cloudy and windy day as a cold front's moving through the state. We'll have a high of 56 degrees in Little Rock. Tonight, it becomes mostly clear and cold, down to 26. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, still cold, and a high of 46. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Are you hungry? Something new, $25, all you can eat, sushi rolls, soup, salad, Benihana rice. Come at Benihana's Monday through Thursday.
This is Trey Schapp. Tune in each Friday morning at 5:30 right here on The Buzz as I bring you From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. If you like to hear interesting stories about the game of golf, this is for you. You can also find it wherever you get your podcasts.
The Bucks are back at the 36th Annual Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic, presented by Arkansas's best Chevy dealers, January 23rd through the 25th at the State Fairgrounds. You could win a lifetime hunting license, a hunting rifle, a $1,000 gift card from Hunter's Refuge, $1,000 from Reliance Bank, or a Bear Den trip from Arkansas's best Chevy dealers. The Taka Hunting Gear Game and Fish Foundation Free Kids Zone, including a trout pond, hoverball, Bwana Gym, and more. Hunters, bring your antlers for your chance to win a Can-Am Defender from Bradford Marine and ATV. Rattlesnakes, chainsaw carving, birds of prey, monster trucks, the Big Buzz Chili Cook-Off, and the Tiger Encounter. The Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic, presented by Arkansas's best Chevy dealers. Tree stands, clothing, RVs, ATVs, UTVs, ammo, and more. It's a Hall of Fame event and an Arkansas tradition. January 23rd through 25th at the State Fairgrounds. Sponsored by Reliance Bank, Arkansas's best Chevy dealers, Bradford Marine and ATV, Can-Am, Hunter's Refuge, Remington, Taka Hunting Gear, Outlaw Beer, and 1037 The Buzz. Visit BigBuckClassic.com and Facebook for more info.
Welcome to Moe's. Everyone knows that coming into Moe's for our Mo Monday special is the best deal in burritos. But what about those other 6 days? Well, let me introduce the new Mo Value Meal. Junior burrito, side of queso, chips, salsa, and a fountain drink for only $9.99. And the best part? It's available all day, every day at Moe's Southwest Grill. Now here's my daughter Andy Kate with a special reminder.
Remember, kids eat free on Sundays. Welcome to Moe's.
All right, you're all set with a coat and scarf. Bundling up?
Yeah, it's freezing out there.
Want to bundle up some wins?
Wins?
It's the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. It's Powerball with Power Play, Lotto, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket, all for just $5.
Wait. 3 chances for 3 jackpots for $5? Bundle me up.
Ask for the $5 bundle today. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hi, I'm Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. We've spent over 100 years earning your trust in Arkansas. And right now, we're backing that up with some of our best year-end offers on every new Chevy truck and SUV.
Get 0% APR and no payments for 90 days on new Chevys.
Come see why it really is better at Bell. And shop our huge year-end deals today. That's Bell Chevrolet and BellChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
0% APR for 36 months. WAC.
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialists that also takes care of our fleet at Signal Media. Fleet Management Services is now hiring for Loop Tech, Tire Tech, and light maintenance. 8 paid holidays and paid vacation, paid health insurance, and 401k. Paid depends on experience and signing bonus. Apply in person at 901 East 8th Street in Little Rock.
Avatar Fire and Ash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history. Whatever happens, protect this family. Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, you go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Ash, rated PG-13, now playing.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Two NFL games Saturday, two NFL games Sunday. First one up Saturday, Buffalo, Denver. 3:30 kick, by the way. Bet Saracen has Denver a 1-point favorite. Line has flipped. Opened with Buffalo as a small favorite. Now Denver is the favorite, 1-point favorite. Money line minus 105 Buffalo, minus 115 Denver. Over-under in this game is 46. Bo Nix getting ready to play in his second playoff game. Wasn't he 0-1? I think that's what I wrote down.
Yeah, they played Bills his rookie season.
Bills knocked him out last year?
Yeah.
Bills may knock him out this year.
I expect it to be extremely loud. I expect it to be a great environment, similar to what it's been recently, the past several home games. But something tells me it'll be kicked up a notch just because it's got playoffs on it. And it's a good team coming in.
You think it'll be kicked up a notch? Man, watching that documentary on John Elway, those Denver teams and just how it changed the city, it was pretty cool. It's a good documentary. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out on Netflix. I was never a huge Elway fan, but you start watching it and everything that he went through, and Stanford and Denver and losing early in his career and just couldn't ever get that Super Bowl. And that was the one thing everyone always talked about. Elway can't win the big one. Never won a Super Bowl. Finally gets it done.
You have to appreciate everything from his career, even if you didn't hold him in a high regard. And then you realize just how great he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was he could have been a professional baseball player.
Yeah. Very good.
And that was almost the route that he took. If he didn't go where he wanted to go.
Let's head to Buffalo and hear from Josh Allen. Gosh, I think did he get hurt 3 times in the game last week?
Yes.
When he hurt, it looked like he hurt his knee significantly that one time.
That was the one.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one that looked like he may not return.
How's he feeling?
I feel good. Honestly, I feel better than I have the last few weeks. It's a Tuesday for us, but on a Wednesday type mindset. So, I feel good.
I mean, he's got to say that. Do you buy it?
No, but I mean, he's not gonna give any kind of indication on how injured he is. So
I would like some kind of indication.
Now the opponent is listening.
I would like to know how you feel, Josh. Would help with my pick this week, because I screwed up last week. Let's move to New York. All right, here's Jackson Dart. Oh, he's got some bold statements to make about Malik Neighbors.
Let me get a dream wide receiver that you will play with that is active.
That is active. I mean, I got the best receiver in the league on my team.
1,000%. We cannot wait to see both of y'all play.
Let's make that clear right now.
Yeah.
I got the best receiver in the league on my team. But other than Leak, I think I got to get like the LSU guys together. Like, I got to get Jamar out there.
For sure. That would be fire.
Being an Ole Miss guy, shouldn't he have said like DK Metcalf or something?
Nah, he's going to go with guys he's familiar with because he didn't play with DK.
Well before his time. Surely DK was coming around, hanging out at Ole Miss. All right, now we go to San Francisco. Beat up 49ers. What's the latest on Fred Warner?
I'm approached by what doctors tell me. I mean, I'm like Fred. If he feels good and tells me he's good, I'm probably going to think he's good and trust him to get out there. But you can't always think with your heart and emotionally, you know. And so you ask doctors where he's at, all the things that these guys have to pass, just protocols that we have in with just sprinting and jumping and things like that. And he's got to hit all those before we feel it's safe.
What's he been like in the last couple weeks? Has he been kind of coming up to you and trying to advocate to open the window, or is that been...
No, that's not Fred's style totally. He does that by showing how hard he's working on the side and knows that we're watching. And so he knows he doesn't have to do that to me. As soon as he's ready. Obviously, it'll be zero decision on my part.
49ers are a 7-point underdog on Bet Saracen. Seattle at home, favored by 7. That is your Saturday night game. Kicks off at 7 o'clock. Over-under on that game is 45 on Bet Saracen. The other games, Houston, New England. New England is a 3-point home favorite. Over-under, 41. Low total, just like it was for the Pittsburgh-Houston game. I think that went off at 38. So a field goal more expected in this game. And then the final game, L.A. Rams at the Chicago Bears, Sunday night, 5:30. NBC. Rams are a road favored by 3.5. I think that went up, Joe. I was thinking that was 3 before. May have gone up a half point.
I thought it was 3.5, but you would expect that those lines can move a bit.
Yeah, earlier, I was talking about the Razorbacks being an 11.5-point favorite, and I looked down. It had gone down a full point. It was 10.5. I was like, oh, okay, there's some movement. And I blinked my eyes. I seriously blinked my eyes, and it was back at 11.5. Still 11.5. I just checked it. Let's go to hear from Tom Brady now. You like him as a color guy?
I do, because he knows the game inside and out. He gives great info as he's breaking down the game.
I don't think he's the best, but I don't think he's bad at all. I don't have a problem listening to him.
Is he competitive every day? Is he really volatile as a leader? Does he know how to deal with adversity? Does he know how to deal with competition? How does he react when things don't go his way? What's going to happen when he throws 4 interceptions a game? How's he going to respond to that? So if you don't have those, because as you guys know, when you play sports, adversity is coming. Oh, yeah. It may not be your first year. It may not be your second year. It will come at some point. And the best players I've ever been around, they know how to deal with all parts of those emotions. They know how to study. They're going to learn every single year. They're going to be a little bit better. When you become mentally and emotionally a master of yourself, my belief is you do get better as you get older. The people who are only focused on their physical ability, over time, you get worse. I learned to compete. I knew how to be resilient. I knew how to be competitive. I learned playbooks. I mastered playbooks. I trained hard because physically I was actually way less developed than a lot of other guys. So I had to work my ass off to try to make up that ground. And finally, when I made up that ground, I thought I was really well-rounded and my ability to compete was at a much higher level. So now I got my chance. And then as I got better physically through the course of my career, mentally, emotionally, I was awesome. Well, there I got to be, in my at 25, I was good. At 35, I was great. At 45, I was a master of the sport.
That's a good breakdown and a good way to progress in your career. That's what you want to see out of all players, but especially your quarterback, where they just kind of start to get the game from a mental aspect as time goes on, and they can look at certain defenses and they know exactly what's happening there. They know when to get in and out of plays, how to adjust to certain defenses, that's exactly what you want.
Never settle for being great. Kept getting better and better so he can master the NFL. Now we go to Matt Ryan and his new role with the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm not trying to call plays. I'm not trying to run your offense. I'm not trying to pull Philip Rivers and come back and play. I'm not doing any of those. I think most importantly, I'm trying to get the right person in here in both of those positions.
What is his title?
President of football.
Is there a GM also?
Yes, but he's the guy that oversees all.
All right, next up. Now, who is Steve Bisciotti?
Bisciotti. Ravens owner.
Okay. He had a lot to say, huh? We'll start with him talking about Lamar Jackson's contract.
I want him to be my quarterback. I told him his extension was, we had some mechanism to keep him in place last year that we don't, or 3 years ago, that we don't necessarily have now. So I need to make sure that there's only one way. If he doesn't want to do an extension, then we throw those $74 million out into void years, and Lamar's coming back at the same cap number he was last year. You can play with that money all you want. That's not what we want. We want another window, and Lamar knows that. And I think that he's amenable to doing something that mirrors the last deal he did, although the annual number will be a little higher. But I'm hoping that it's plug a new number in the same contract he signed last year and move on. And the urgency of that matters to me because we've got free agents, and I don't want to go into free agency with that hanging over our head. And I made that clear to Lamar, and I think he was very appreciative of my stance, and hopefully willing to work with Eric and not get this thing dragged out into April like it was the last time.
Sounds like he's on top of it and ready to make a move as long as Lamar and his side's ready to deal.
Got to be on the same page. That's always key.
More on Lamar Jackson. He was asked if Lamar will have a say on who the next head coach will be.
Steve, you did mention that you invited Lamar to come up for the interviews if he wants to, the final round of interviews and everything. When it's all said and done, how much of a say will Lamar have in the head coach selection?
A lot of say, but he has no power. I have the power. They have opinions, and I want them all. I care about my players very much, but I can't give them power.
Good answer. Want his opinion, his input. Final say? No, goes with Bisciotti. Changes. How about that? I didn't even realize it. I hadn't put it all together. How different the AFC North will look next year with 3 new head coaches.
Yeah, there was a time a few weeks ago that it was put out there that every coach in division essentially was on the hot seat. And that included Zach Taylor, Bengals coach, but he has a year or maybe a couple of years on his contract. And there was somebody I was having a conversation with, and they said, I think Bengals may be too cheap to fire that guy. And that's kind of what's out there now, is that he's only around because they don't want to have to pay a salary to him and then pay a salary to a new coach.
More from Bisciotti on Harbaugh and Tomlin.
If Tyler Loop makes that field goal, is John Harbaugh still here coaching this team?
For a week.
Is he a candidate here?
Holy Mike, wouldn't that be awesome? Only if John takes the Pittsburgh job. Wow, wouldn't that be interesting? I don't know, that thing last week maybe disqualified him for my opening after our kicker missed a kick to let them advance. Good for Mike. I don't know. Talk to him. I love Mike. I mean, I've admired Mike for 18 years, and that's really shocking that he did it that way.
That would be so cool. Have you seen the pictures? Harbaugh and the Steelers colors and Mike Tomlin in the Ravens?
No, I haven't. Don't
Pretty
think that's happening.
That's so wild. I mean, it does not look right at all. Bashotti, what do you want to do the next decade?
How long am I going to? Because I kind of always said I don't think, well, I'm not passing it down to the family. I made that decision 25 years ago. I don't think that's healthy for my family. I've seen families feud and ruin over these damn teams, and I was determined not to do it. But when I watch guys like Art Blank and Steve Ross and Jerry Jones, and Jerry talking about what part of his anatomy he would give up for a Super Bowl at 83 years old, I don't want to be there. I really don't. I want to win a couple Super Bowls and get the hell out. I'd love that to be in the next 10 years when I'm 75. That's my dream.
Get paid. Make that money, get out, get your billions, and enjoy the rest of your life.
And the family can enjoy the money and not worry about every day of running a team. Now, Steelers, Art Rooney, he said he was asked about a rebuild, and he said, I don't like that word. So that's not something that they're looking to do. They're looking to just kind of get the next coach in there and rekindle that roster the way they need to, get some pieces, and move forward and keep it as it's been. Try to compete. Also, they have a third interview request with Brian Flores. So far, 2 defensive coordinators and 1 offensive guy, passing game coordinator, Nate Schilhaas from Rams. Other defensive coordinator, Chris Shula, Rams. So I would say ideally hire one of the Rams guys. The other one comes with them. It'd be harder to do that if you hire the passing game coordinator because Chris Shula is already a defensive coordinator. But if you hire Chris Shula as defensive coordinator, now you're giving Schilhaas a promotion in becoming an offensive coordinator. So that's something they could look into. Kind of, and it doesn't matter, whether they go offense or defense, but they've gone defense with all these coaches they've known. Kind of would like to see somebody in that position that is more innovative from an offensive standpoint. But once again, it could work either way, where you get a defensive guy, you have a great offensive coordinator, or somebody with potential to be great. You have an offensive guy, you have a great defensive coordinator.
How you feel about Flores?
Like Flores, but, once again, who are you going to get from an offensive standpoint? Get somebody that is innovative from an offensive standpoint that runs what's being run in today's game and not always trying to keep it, well, this is how it always has been, even from a defensive standpoint. This is how it always has been. No, be innovative from a defensive standpoint also.
Did you see where the Cowboys requested to interview the Philadelphia Eagles?
Kevin Patullo?
Yeah. Secondary coach or passing game coordinator, defensive coordinator. It wasn't the DC, but it was another, like a secondary coach.
Oh, okay. Well,
for DC.
no, I got you. I
it wasn't Patullo, no.
It wasn't him because he's offense. But, no, you can see that. You want to put coaches in these positions. You want to go get the next great coaches or up-and-comers that you feel like can be put in a certain position. That's what you want to target. When you go for you're not going to get a defensive coordinator necessarily from another team. You want to go get somebody who's working their way up to become a defensive coordinator. Now, you can go get a former head coach, former defensive coordinator to fill that spot, but if you're looking at up-and-comers, you're not going to go get somebody else's defensive coordinator unless they just got let go.
And a lot of times if that coach has been let go, that DC and the OC are still under contract until the new coach is hired, and then he brings in a new DC or OC, if he even chooses to do that.
Right. But you can get all that stuff worked out, though.
National championship game is Monday night. Right now, Miami is an 8.5-point underdog. Indiana favored by 8.5. Your over-under in that game's at 47.5. Kurt Cignetti just keeps on doing what he's doing. Nothing's changing.
Well, we've got to prepare for this game no different than we prepared for Ohio State and Alabama. The biggest mistake our guys can make, and that I'll talk to them tonight in the team meeting about this, is making this game bigger than it is. And, and going down that road. Then that would be detrimental, to our preparation and our performance. This week is no different than any other week. We have to be on point. We have to stack meetings, practices, and go in totally prepared. But then you got to put it on the field, against a great opponent.
Somebody on the text line from Middleton Heat and Air said, "Do you guys happen to hear the shot at Arkansas from Herb Street during the playoff game this past weekend?" He was talking about how Cignetti is never smiling, even in a blowout, and related it to how Saban used to act when he was up 42-3 on Arkansas. We caught a stray. I missed that. I didn't hear it. But Cignetti has a lot of Saban in him. You can tell. Even the way his press conferences, his demeanor, his team, how it looks. So well coached.
It's his name is being thrown around for Steelers also because that's where he's from. Now, their philosophy has always been go get a young coach that's up and coming, but connections are there, so his name has been thrown out there.
You take that?
I mean, it'd be something different from what they've had, but with the success and the track record, yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, you can join us, 661-1037. Also take a look at the text line, live fan feedback. Open segment when we return. Stick around, it's Out of Bounds.
The inventory overstock sale is on with up to 50% off store-wide. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the lazy.
This is SportsCenter.
Last night in college basketball, number 2 Iowa State suffered their first loss of the season, falling to Kansas 84-63. The Cyclones shot just 36% from the floor in the game. In the SEC, Tennessee beat Texas A&M 87-82, while Florida beat Oklahoma 96-79. Tonight there are no ranked matchups, but there are a few intriguing games. We'll start with 5th-ranked Purdue hosting Iowa at 5:30 on the Big Ten Network. 16-0 10th-ranked Vanderbilt will travel to Texas at 8 on ESPN2. The Longhorns are coming off a big win against the Crimson Tide this past Saturday. Number 14 North Carolina will go on the road to Stanford at 8 on the ACC Network. And 17th ranked Arkansas will take on South Carolina at home at 8 o'clock on the SEC Network. Radio coverage can be heard on The Buzz. Stay tuned afterwards for the Bet Saracen Razorback postgame show with Wes Moore and Josh Neighbors. I'm Christian Weaver with The Buzz Radio Network.
Tune in every Friday morning to hear Danny West from hogsports.com on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by HJ Trailer Sales. They've got truck beds and utility trailers for every type of job and a service facility for maintenance and repair. Local folks with great products. Visit them online at hjtrailersales.com or in person at 808 Albert Pike in Hot Springs.
It's a new year. Time to focus on what really matters, your health. At Arkansas Urology, we make it simple for men to stay on top of their screenings. Every Arkansas Urology location offers health screenings by appointment from 8 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. A few minutes can make a lifetime of difference, so start the year strong. 501-219-8900 or visit arkansasurology.com to schedule your appointment today. Arkansas Urology, your health starts here.
At Southland Casino Hotel, the end zone is worth much more than 7 points. Rushing for Riches takes place Fridays and Saturdays in February from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Every time you earn 50 points, you'll gain one entry. 200 Lucky North Rewards winners will be drawn to win up to $5,000 free play. Plus, one member could score $1 million in cash. Draw up the perfect play. Be part of Rushing for Riches at Southland in February. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and a
Lawrence Forrester in Cabot, Steve Fisher in Stuttgart, or Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff today.
It's Justin Acri for CertaPro Painters. It's winter, and if you're thinking about freshening up the indoor look of your home or business or taking the curb appeal to the next level, call CertaPro Painters. You'll be blown away at the experience as they help you through the process of choosing a paint color to cleaning up when they're finished with your project. No mess, no paint splatter. You'll never know they were there, except for the amazing paint job they leave behind. That attention to detail is what sets CertaPro apart. Each CertaPro painter is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Poen, founded over a decade ago by Daniel and Vanessa Ellison. They lease and sell trucks, trash carts, roll-off dumpsters, and street sweepers. Proud to be Arkansas's only authorized dealer for New Way refuse trucks and Timco street sweepers. Your authorized dealer for Galfab roll-off and hook lift trucks. You can get parts and service for all makes and models with technicians traveling the state to take care of you.
AME, it's the service after the sale.
Hey, it's Randy Rainwater from Drive Time Sports. Wednesday, when Rick Schaefer and I bring in some great guests, Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, Kevin Bohannon, Scoop, and Scores. Hogsports.com's Trey Biddy, thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. Bart Reed, thanks to Martin Orthopedics, NFL agent and guru Chris Turnage, and Richard Davenport from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and HoHogSports.com. See you Wednesday on 1037 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 1037 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net.
Speaking of TruService Federal Credit Union, you don't have to let bills pile up on you after the holidays. They're ready to help you right now. They can help you save some money this year. TruService Federal Credit Union, they're helping families, friends, co-workers reduce the financial stress. Best way to start, better rates, and get some guidance. When you become a member of TruService Federal Credit Union and you open up a checking or savings account, you get access to low-rate auto loans, competitive mortgages, and one of the lowest interest rate credit cards there is in the nation. It's perfect for paying down the high-interest debt that you have. TruService may also be able to help you lower your interest rate and the payment on your current auto loan. May be able to reduce the term of it, too. It's worth a shot. Linda Jeffries, the CFO, and Ali Gonzalez can assist you, walk you through the process, whether it's a new mortgage loan, auto refinancing, home equity loan, or maybe you just want to start a savings account. They can take care of you. It's TruService, here for you, here for the community. Go online, TruService.net. Wes Moore and Joe Franklin with you on this hump day. Arkansas, South Carolina tonight at 8 on the SEC Network. You can listen to it right here on The Buzz. Don't forget, we got the Bet Saracen Razorback basketball postgame show at Walk-Ons. Looking for a place to watch the game tonight? Head on over to Walk-Ons. Josh and I will be there, hanging out, getting ready to do the postgame show. Let's go to the Middleton Heat and Air text line. Got some basketball comments and questions. What Brazil will show up tonight? You never know. He's very inconsistent. You are exactly right, 901. Just don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get the good Brazil and he can get you 15 to 20 points, active on the boards. Then sometimes you get a Brazil that's not doing much, missing his shots, not helping you defensively, and honestly a liability at times. Maybe tonight's a good night. Got to get him going. You know, that's the thing. You know, I hate to harp on the defense, but if you're going to be an Elite Eight team, a Final Four team, you got to be able to get stops. And this team hasn't shown that here recently. That's all. This is a good enough team to get to compete and be in the Elite Eight, to have a shot to go to the Final Four. That's where they got to improve. And they need one of these, somebody besides Darius Acuff. You got to have other scores. And it doesn't have to be the same guy every night, but it can be Malik Thomas one night. It can be Trevin Brazil one night. It could be Carter Knox one night. But you got to get those secondary guys going also.
Malik Thomas seems to be somebody they can depend on. Trevin Brazil, it could be based on a matchup, but Malik Thomas, he seems to come with it every game. So if you're looking for two guys that kind of lead that charge, it'd be Acuff and Thomas.
Yeah, the last 3 games, he's been good. Since the Christmas break, Malik Thomas has been good. And I shouldn't leave out Malik Ewing because I do believe he's an important piece. He's a guy who can get you 10 to 12 points because he is becoming more and more active on the offensive side. Here's a question from the 479. Does Pringle get a flagrant foul tonight? I'm going to say no. 501 says Pringle went off on us last year when we played at South Carolina. Hopefully he can do that against them. Yeah, I remember that game, man. They went to him early in the game, and he delivered time and time again. And I looked it up. I was like, how many does this guy average? He wasn't one of the ones I was concerned about. And I think he had like 12 points in the first half and averaged around 6. He'd already doubled his average. It was crazy. But he was very active at the beginning of that game. And then they focused on him in the SEC tournament and helped shut him down. LC in Sherwood. Pringle can start his masonry company at the conclusion of his eligibility. He's not a brick. He actually has been doing better from the free throw line too.
That's good.
Yeah.
All players should be able to shoot free throws.
TP in Little Rock says, Wes, Joe, it's hard to watch this basketball team because they never look into the post. Take time out, stop watching the ball, look inside. Pringle and Ewing post up all the time, but the ball hogs outside never look inside. They have, and I will say this, TP, Coach Calipari even said that after the last game against Auburn, they're trying to get Ewing more involved, but they need to see more from Ewing. He wants him to go up strong, quit fading away, quit backing off. He wants him to attack the basket, attack the defender, put it up in his chest, give him a little shot and take it up strong, then go to the free throw line. It's hard to get fouled when you're fading away on a post move. But they are working on that, and they want to make Ewing and the post presence a bigger part of their game plan. Now, Pringle in the low post, I don't know if that's a big part of the game plan. He's more of a guy there getting trash points, and sometimes the guard can drive in and give him a little lob, throw it up, set him up for an easy basket. Boyd says Tomlin needs to come to Arkansas. Not happening.
Come to Arkansas and do what?
Be on our show? We can do that. Come back to Arkansas.
Yeah, because he was at Arkansas State at one time.
From the 501, hey, Wes, are any of our players that went to the portal getting selected? Do you know? I haven't seen anything. I see the ones we get, but are our Arkansas players going anywhere? Yeah, they've let's see. Let me think of some of the big ones. You had Shaq McRoy went to North Carolina, followed Bobby Petrino there. You had somebody the other offensive lineman went to Oklahoma. You had somebody went to Texas, right? Didn't one of their guys?
Yeah, the big defensive lineman.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Ian
Giffard went to Texas. Now, a lot of them, some of them, out of the 33, there were some that were like walk-ons. I don't know where they're going, if they're even going to continue playing football, if they're going to like an FCS level or something. And then there were some of the DBs. And then there were some, I didn't even know they had eligibility left. I think they're applying to get another year. And so I don't know if they've been selected yet. But there have been some. I don't have the list. And today, for the first time, I left my list of portal signings at the house. Felt a little naked there for a while. I have taken that with me everywhere so that at any point something breaks, I can add that name to the list. But, yeah, there have been some guys signed. JW says, you cannot dismiss Brazil for what he's done this season. Curry scored 7 points last night. Everybody has a bad day. I'm sure after he starts scoring and dunking, everybody will be back on the bandwagon. I think, and I don't know everybody else. I'm not going to speak for everybody else, JW. I'm speaking for myself. I think Trevin Brazile has a lot more talent and a lot more potential than he's shown this season. I don't expect
every
a
season.
Texas Tech game out of him every night where he's scoring 20 and 10.
Every season, he just needs to be more consistent. That's always been what's been known about Trevin Brazile and his game. We know how good he can be, but he just needs to be more consistent. You need to see it more often.
There are too many times when his outside shot's not falling, then he's done. You know, he's not going to help you. He is too good for that. He needs to look. If you're 0 for 3 from the 3-point line, your shot's not falling, do something else. Hit the boards, get some offensive rebounds, make a presence somewhere else offensively.
And what makes that so crazy is he's capable of doing it all around the court, all over the court. He's capable of contributing in a bunch of different ways.
Mm-hmm. 501 says, Ewing, I hope he can continue to get better on the offensive side of the ball and become a bully under the glass. We really need that from him. That's from Ethan. Thank you, Ethan. I do. I think he's got the potential, and we saw it at Florida State last year. Now, Florida State would make it more of their point. They weren't very good. They made it a point to get him the ball. At Arkansas, he's not the number one option. You know the number one, the number two options. Now, there are times when you need a basket or you'll run a play, and the play is designed to get him the ball in the low blocks or in the high post. I think he's very effective at the high post when he catches it because there are very few big guys that can stay with him. One dribble, maybe two, go to the basket and get fouled, convert, make the basket. I've seen that out of him. I know he can do it. Tannerite. When's the last time Arkansas had a true big man down low, someone who contributed every game? Jalen Williams, maybe towards the end of his career. I mean, Portis, Gafford, true big man. Yeah, probably have to go back then. But Jalen, but Jalen also took some threes and did some things.
Yeah, the game has changed from that position anyway.
I think we're all caught up. Let me see anything on the live feedback. Nope, we're good. Caught up. That feels good. Feel like I've done my job. We'll wrap things up when we come back. Take a look at some of the other games tonight in the SEC. Last night turned out to be a dud, Joe. I finished up my show. I was like, I'm going to watch some basketball now. I take it back. The first game went to double overtime with Texas A&M and Tennessee. That game went so long, I felt for some of the fans, if you don't have like ESPN, the app, and you can go watch it on an alternate channel or the SEC Plus network, on your app.
Mm-hmm.
That game did not end until I think the Alabama game was at halftime.
Whoa.
Yes, double overtime. But then the night games, Alabama blowout, Florida blowout. Take a look at tonight's schedule when we come back. It is Out of Bounds.
The time has come to address something that you may not be aware of that will change your life. Electronically controlled suspension and road preview. That's a standard feature on a 2026 GV80 from Genesis of Conway. What does it mean? No matter the pothole, your new Genesis can automatically stabilize the ride. The potholes are harmless, and you'll stay out of the hole with the deal you get from Genesis of Conway. The future of luxury today.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. 501-214-5880.
Ready for action? Your Little Rock Trojans are turning up the heat. Be there when the Trojans take the floor at the Jack Stevens Center on January 15th as the women take on Eastern Illinois at 5 o'clock and the men at 7. Every play, every shot. It's the hottest game in town. Get tickets today. Single game tickets and multi-game ticket packs are available at lrtrojans.com. Don't miss out on the action. Get your tickets now at lrtrojans.com.
Do you need health insurance? Open enrollment for the Arkansas Health Insurance Marketplace is happening now. Do you have questions about plans and coverage or need help with enrollment? Visit myarinsurance.com to connect with an Arkansan waiting to help at no cost to you. But hurry, the final open enrollment deadline for 2026 health insurance coverage is January 15th. Find help today at myarinsurance.com.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
My Lowe's Pro Rewards members go big during Lowe's Pro Savings Days. Get member volume discounts plus an extra 5% off eligible orders with a quote of $2,000 or more. Plus, buy more and save more with up to 25% off DWV pipes when you spend $250 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 123. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Can't be combined with any contract or special pricing. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
It's the 36th annual Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic, presented by Arkansas's best Chevy dealers, January 23rd through the 25th at the State Fairgrounds. There will be hundreds of vendors selling clothing, turkey calls, deer stands, ammo, and more, all at discounted prices. It's an event for the entire family. Biggest buck wins a Can-Am Defender from Bradford Marine and ATV. The 36th annual Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic, presented by Arkansas's best Chevy dealers, sponsored by Hunter's Refuge, Remington, Taka Hunting Gear, and Outlaw Beer.
Stay up to date with the latest Razorback news with the Red White Report every weekday with Justin and DJ on The Zone. The Red White Report is brought to you by Ortho Now, your walk-in solution for orthopedic care at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital with UAMS Health.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz, live from the TruService Credit Union Studios.
Wait a minute, this love started off so tender, so sweet. But now she got me smoking out the window.
Must have spent 45,000 up in Tiffany's. Oh no! Got a bad and kids running around.
All right, we're getting ready to wrap things up here. So this, Sport Track put out the numbers. Number 2 pick in this year's NFL draft, and Dante Moore, and if you're just joining us or haven't heard it, he's going back to Oregon. Announced it today, the quarterback. And I've seen some mock drafts where he was either number 1 or number 2. Based on Sport Track estimates, the number 2 overall pick in this year's NFL draft is due a 4-year, $52.5 million fully guaranteed contract that includes a $34 million signing bonus. What do you think Oregon's paying him?
Not that. But, I mean, when you're doing NIL and that's based on what you can get really off the field, it could get close to it. We saw that, trying to think who it was, maybe it was Arch. Before he even was starting quarterback, he was making so much in endorsements, and really they tried to keep the number down, but it's hard to turn away from a certain amount of money.
Wonder what he's getting paid this year.
It's a lot.
All right. Last night in the SEC, Alabama beat Mississippi State on the road by 15, 97-82. Alabama took control of that game about midway through and never looked back. Easily covered on the road. Florida, same thing. Went to Oklahoma, beat them by 17. Florida was a road favorite. They covered. And the first game in the SEC last night, A&M, Tennessee. Tennessee came back, tied it late. A&M had a chance to win this game. Did you watch any of this game, A&M, Tennessee?
No.
Double overtime. Tennessee wins 87-82. So Tennessee goes to the free throw line down 2 late in the game and 1-1. Makes the first one, misses the second one. Texas A&M couldn't get the rebound. Tennessee got it, foul. Guy goes to the free throw line, makes one, misses the second one, ties it up, misses the second one, and the ball's loose, and they ruled it was out on Texas A&M. So it's Tennessee ball again. They get them to review it. And the review, Joe, in my mind, clearly shows Tennessee's guy knocking it out of bounds. The announcers are like, oh, okay, well, A&M's going to get the final shot. This is going to be their ball. This will be overturned. They even show it on the big board at Tennessee, and you could hear them murmuring in the crowd like, oh, that's going to be their ball. They came back and said they didn't have clear evidence who it was off. I'm like, what more do you need? It's as clear as day. The Tennessee guy or the A&M guy has it in his hands, and the Tennessee guy comes in, swipes it out of his hands out of bounds. I'm like, there's your video proof. I texted Z, and I was like, Coach, you can't get any more clear than that. He was like, well, A&M got the good end of a call against Auburn earlier, and the SEC said no more good calls for you.
Yeah,
joking,
that's
course.
hard to understand how they could get it wrong on video.
It was so bad. I'm just like, and so Tennessee gets the ball, throws it in, misses a shot at the buzzer. They go to overtime. I'm like, well, but what sucks, A&M should have had the ball last. Maybe they make the last shot, and they don't go to overtime. They never got the opportunity. But then again, if you block out and get the rebound on a missed free throw, you got the ball, and you win the game because you're up 1 after the missed free throw. They couldn't get the first rebound, couldn't get the second rebound. Anyway, Tennessee wins in double overtime, 87-82. Last night, road teams went 2-1 in the SEC. By the way, I'm charting it. It's early, but first Saturday in the SEC, home teams went 6-2. Last week during the midweek, 4-4. This past Saturday, home teams went 6-2. Already, road teams have won 2 games, and you got 5 tonight. Tonight, you got, besides Arkansas, South Carolina at 8, your early games, 3 early games. Ole Miss goes to Georgia. Georgia's favored by 10.5. I expect Georgia to run them out of the gym. That's on ESPNU. You got Kentucky at LSU. Kentucky off to a slow start on the road at LSU. Kentucky's a 3.5-point favorite. That's on the SEC Network.
This is one of those wins that you feel like you can go get on the road. Even though it's going to be tough on the road, you feel like you can get that one.
Kentucky should be just absolutely desperate, right? I mean, after starting off with a couple losses against Alabama and Missouri, they did bounce back, beat Mississippi State last week, but I got to think but it is tough to play. You know what? I've seen LSU show up for Kentucky before, so they could have a decent crowd tonight. Auburn is at Missouri. That's a good game. You know, Missouri was off to a 2-0 start and kind of blew one this past Saturday. They went to Ole Miss and lost 79-60. What was the final score in that one? 76-69, lost by 7. Ole Miss was dreadful from the free throw line. I was watching this game with Josh. I felt bad for him because Missouri had a chance to win this game. Here it is. They shot 24 free throws. They made 12. 12 of 24 from the free throw line.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes. It literally cost them the game. They could be 3-0 in the SEC, but went on the road and lost to Ole Miss. Tonight they host Auburn. I think that's a good game. Auburn, see how they handle knocking off Arkansas, but they're still, looking down at the bottom of the standings. They need to climb out of that hole. Auburn is favored by 1.5, by the way. That's 6 o'clock on ESPN2. Then Arkansas, 8 o'clock. It's on the SEC Network. So hopefully Kentucky and LSU, for all of y'all that don't want to have to search around or can't search around for the alternate channels to get the start of the game, hopefully that Kentucky-LSU game goes quickly, and we can see the beginning of the South Carolina-Arkansas game. That's one of the good things about going to walk-ons. They find it, and they put it on there so we can see the beginning of the game, no matter where they put it. The other 8 o'clock game tonight is Vanderbilt at Texas. Hey, an Arkansas win and a Vanderbilt loss on the road at Texas, and Arkansas is back in first place at 3-1. Your other undefeated team prior to last night was Texas A&M. So they picked up a loss, and there's only one undefeated team in the SEC, and that is Vanderbilt. They go to Texas. Texas just, of course, went on the road and beat Alabama. That was a quality win for Texas. Did not see that one coming. And Texas is at home hosting Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt a 4.5-point favorite. That game is on ESPN2.
That'll be one to watch. See what makes Vandy so good. And they're coming up soon as an opponent.
Yep. What makes them good? They're old, and they've got a good point guard. I was not sold on Vanderbilt, but the more I've watched them now, I watched them last week against Alabama, 96-90. That was a good victory, and I saw some of their game against LSU. Now, LSU's down. They lost one of their best players. Also saw Kentucky's guard has been ruled out for the rest of the season, so a blow for the Kentucky Wildcats. But tonight at Vanderbilt, it's going to get a little tougher for Vandy. We're about to learn something about Vandy. They go to Texas tonight. They host number 19 Florida. Then they go to Arkansas next Tuesday. That is a Tuesday game. We've been having Wednesday games. We'll get a Tuesday game next week. And then they go on the road after Arkansas, go to Mississippi State. So let's see if they can go 4-0. They do, I'm sold. All in on Vanderbilt. I don't see them going 4-0, though. Yeah, that Arkansas matchup could be really big. If they take care of business, that's still going to be a tough game against Florida Saturday, even though it's at home. But it's going to be another, as long as Arkansas's got to take care of business tonight. And then you get Georgia, a top 25 matchup. And then you get Arkansas got a little tough test, right? Back-to-back top 25 games against Georgia and Vanderbilt. Let's look at tonight in the SEC. Hope you can join us. That's another good thing about going to walk-ons. Multiple games on at once. Of course, the Arkansas game will be on the majority of the TVs, but we can get that Vanderbilt game on, do a little scouting, and watch a little bit of the Vanderbilt-Texas game while we're at walk-ons.
They play late also?
Mm-hmm. Both 8 o'clock starts.
Okay.
8 o'clock start game, and it's usually like 8:05 start, and sometimes they'll push it back a little further, but I'm hoping it's over by 10:15. Start our post-game show by 10:45. Hoping, fingers crossed, and for Josh's sake too, since he's got to get up. I can sleep in. Josh has got to be up here for the morning show.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried about it.
Oh, he whines about it. Believe me, I hear about it. All right, coming up tomorrow, of course, we will recap the Arkansas-South Carolina game. Also, we'll have Richard Davenport joining us, talk about the portal, get a little portal update from him. And then Brian Edwards at 3:30. Get some NFL picks from him. College football, national playoff game, get that pick from him too. So tomorrow should be fun. I hope you can join us. Have a great night. But stick around. Drive Time Sports is next.
Chasing out